Yeah, obviously there's a penitent breath there. Psychological preparations, of course, are underway. So it's entirely possible that you know all of these entities here. But I feel like it's only proper to introduce one and all. I am Jerry Holkins. I am here with my brutal lieutenant, Eric Benson. But I'm also here with my friend IRL, Chris Bedell.
Greetings.
From Greater Than Games. But you have also brought, I would say, a larger number of combatants. So if
more
this
quality over quantity.
Yeah, exactly.
interesting.
If this game, if this game turns, if it goes loud,
Yeah.
I feel like the numbers are good. I feel like Greater Than Games comes out of this okay.
We have volume on our side in a few different metrics.
Yeah, on several axes.
Yeah, right. That's for sure.
If you will. Now, how long? Because,
Well, hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
exactly.
on. I hate to interrupt you.
No, please don't.
But I would like to introduce, we have Matt Kroll and Paul Bender here. Paul Bender co-founded Greater Than Games with me. He's been part of it from the start. And Matt Kroll is one of the primary developing people here for Compile.
Yes, this
Compile
is why-
would not exist without Matt Kroll.
This is why I know Matt to begin with. It's actually this. And most of the time I've spent with Matt has been prowling around trying to find him after hours. But now, of course, one can simply go to Amazon
Yes.
and purchase a copy.
Amazon.
Yes, exactly.
And also,
Right?
the Penny Arcade X
I
positions.
was going to say that there's every possibility that you could see these brigands at their own booth at the upcoming Penny Arcade Expo,
Indeed.
which a lot of people call PAX for whatever reason.
PAX, I've heard this before.
Yeah,
It's quite the show, I've heard.
like a vape pen.
We'll check it out this year
Here.
for the first time ever. Certainly not for the
No,
14th year of doing so. Or whatever.
it will do in a pinch.
Yeah.
But this is all to say that I have had the pleasure of playing Compile in the era before you had a fancy
Anything.
three-line mat.
Yeah. He's just a one-line match.
Just the one.
One-line mat. But, I mean, so I have, before we obviously begin the ritual,
Yeah.
I do have a couple questions about it.
Sure.
I feel like I've been playing this game for about 2 years.
Interestingly,
Is that?
a year.
Okay, then it's just.
Can you
it's
imagine?
Well, it's just how time. It's like because I only see it at the shows.
Right,
yeah.
I think I must have seen it like at Unplugged, maybe.
My guess is actually it's been a year and some change because I think the first time you saw it was PAX East
It was East.
2023.
yeah, east, and then we go around.
And so it's more than a year. And once you
Yes.
get past a year, you round up to 2. So
Yeah.
it's 2 years.
Okay.
It's
See,
2 years.
I was right.
Yeah, you were right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for
been
contradicting
made
you.
right.
Yeah.
Retroactively.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was in obviously from the jump. Let me see if I can explain the basic concept, and then you tell me.
I'm so excited.
If I am, if I'm wrong, if I'm just wrong. So essentially what you have posited with the game Compile is that at some point in the future, organic life doesn't appear to be a big part of this environment.
Not so much. And you say it's something in the future, but we don't know if it was maybe in the past.
I guess that's true. We may still be iterating this, but essentially the way that we were discussing it before, and we weren't trying to make the ultimate marketing campaign.
No, that was at Gen Con this year.
Yeah, did it work out?
Well, so
Oh,
at Gen
it's
Con,
very
and I,
good.
again, hate to interrupt you, but at Gen Con, at the Jennifer Convention,
Yes.
there is
I'm Jennifer Convention.
there is the main hotel and the main convention center have this big sky bridge that connects them, like you do.
Yeah.
And at Gen Con this year, we, Greater Than Games, purchased
Oh,
the
I saw
largest
this photo.
banner
I saw this picture.
that exists
90 feet long.
to wrap this entire sky bridge.
Very cool.
It had a QR code that you could scan from several blocks away. We just kept walking further away. We were like, can I still scan it? Yeah, still can do it.
still
Still
real?
can do it.
Is
Yeah,
it still real?
It was very cool. We had people who were arriving at day 0 of the general convention
Right.
and saying, "What is Compile?" I'm like, yes, good,
Yeah,
it's
see,
working.
now we're talking, big letters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we tried to keep it from the designer.
Oh yeah, we
secret.
tried to keep it a secret from Michael.
BGG
Yeah.
blew it up because they were like, "What is this game?"
It was
so
great.
sweet.
It was
lovely.
great.
That must have been a delight. But
Okay, so you were telling me about this game.
well, long story short, tell you about your game. So essentially, at some point, it is undefined, but at some point, in essence, two artificial intelligences go to war over fundamental concepts
Yeah.
of existence. And the first to truly process and understand these things essentially is given primacy over this new world, whatever state it's in. That's the theme.
Yeah, that is spot on. So the phrase that I usually the elevator pitch that I usually say is two AIs have experienced the singularity and are prepared to rewrite reality in their own image. Only one will prevail, but first they must understand what that image is.
I like it.
So you had it. It's right there.
So do we think that this entire conflict takes place like in a fraction of a second?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So-
Millions of games of Compile have been played and completed in the amount of time it took us to get to this point of the stream. Yeah.
I'm so pleased. Now, as a practical matter, we can look down from our sacred upward cameras. They're looking down at both our lines, this control token, and these, which are the various concepts.
The protocols.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The various concepts that we are going to be trying to understand. But we are not trying to understand the same concepts.
No, we have to. We're going to use some cardsman's terms. We're going to draft them.
Yes, if you will.
Yeah.
And then we choose that, we choose them from this. Now, the box, the original box, includes 12 such protocols.
That's correct.
But you also have an aux pack, like a little booster pack.
That's right.
Same color.
That has three more. Yes, the purple is the color of wave one of this game, hinting that there may be future waves.
I mean, who knows? Even in the realm of this stream, there may be revelations.
There may be.
Now, but for our purpose,
Right.
it's a snake draft. Is that the term?
Some people use that. I've heard ratchet draft as well. The point is,
That seems judgmental.
it does. The point is, one of us is going to take one, and then the
Yes.
other one's going to take two, and the other one's going to take one, and the other one's going to take one,
There you go.
and that'll wrap it up. So the question is, do you want to draft first or second?
Well, I mean, I'll go ahead and start out.
Great. So pick one of these mini protocols. Each protocol has a protocol card that will go into one of these three slots,
That's right.
and has 6 cards, and those 6 cards have all of the instructions of play on them. All of the cards in the game are completely unique with the exception of one type of card. Every card that has a 5 on
Yes.
it has the same text, and that text is you discard one card. But other than the 5s, they're all the same.
And we will have a sense
Yeah.
of why those 5s, because there's such a substantial weight on the
Right.
game. Now, let me go ahead and grab speed.
Oh, it's a quick start.
You will.
Fantastic. All right. So let's see. If you're going to play speed, and you mentioned that there's the 12 in the core set plus the 3 from
Plus
the
the
Ox
3
pack.
from Ox,
and
yes.
we have all these different protocols. The 3 from the Ox pack, because they are mixed in here, are apathy, hate, and love.
Right.
Love, hate, and apathy are the Ox pack. They are a trio that go together for some reasons that I don't fully understand because I've not puzzled it out yet.
But we aren't infinitely conscious artificial intelligences. If
Yeah.
we were, we could get to the bottom of this with ease, I suspect.
And so I want to, by the way, your protocol card that you've drafted goes in your first slot. Very good. And so I'm going to draft 2 now. And because I want to know more about this thing called love, I will take love.
Just listen to the rhythm of my heart.
Yeah, exactly. And to try to learn not just what is love, but what you might think of
Baby,
love.
don't hurt me.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
I will also take psychic.
It's like a damage.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to grab 2, and you are going to grab 1. So
remain
I've
one
got
hand.
speed.
Yep.
What I have found is funny about these protocols is that you really can combine them conceptually even without knowing the guts of it, right? You can combine them conceptually and it will make sense.
Yes.
It'll
right.
actually sort of work. So if I have speed, I feel like we can go even further with fire.
Oh, excellent.
right? I
Some
think
fast flames.
Yeah, my suspicion is that speed and fire are going to be really, really nice. And then what if we take water just to balance it
I'm in trouble.
out?
Nice.
Excellent.
This is going to be really interesting, I think. Now, again, I have only played this game maybe 15, 16 times.
I've only played it a couple more times than that.
But I'm saying that, like, my suspicion is that inside your band, you probably have a few more games on me. And also, I've played games against you before, and it's hard to win.
Well, most of the time when we play games that are cooperative, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I will pick
That's
up-
most of your games.
That is most of our games, and it is rare for us to publish a competitive game that is in the same weight class as our cooperative games. But this one was something so special that we're like, nah, this fits.
Yeah, it seems sort of oblique.
Yeah.
To your typical thing. It makes, honestly, you know what it makes me wonder? It makes me wonder if some GTG, if some, I was going to say DNA, but I mean, let's leave that. Let's just set that aside. I wonder if there isn't a way, as this continues and in this form. I wonder if there isn't a scenario where we aren't competing against a more sophisticated. I see a weird little smile here, so
Who could say? Time will tell.
I was just being conversational.
It's a great
But
conversation.
it's
I'm happy to be here.
It's very great event, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
makes perfect
the
sense.
goal for us is games in which the thematics and the mechanics tie together inexorably. And that's this game. For all it being just some words on cards and some vague concepts, like the story of it is emergent. It happens. You feel it as you play it.
It definitely does,
Yeah.
because you've drawn such like fundamental concepts. Like everyone can understand what's at stake here,
Sure.
right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
we've drafted our decks. These other protocols are going to go away. The next question, I'm going to. I'll explain the rules,
Yes, please.
which I know you know, but a refresher
please,
plus for the stream.
No, and we can use this
We
device
got a couple
here.
questions in there too.
Oh,
Yes,
perfect.
we will be selling at PAX this year.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
We have limited supplies.
Yeah,
So
well,
we hit
come
them
early.
Well, I mean, you got gutted. I mean, my understanding is that Gen Con basically.
Oh, yeah.
Our friend
We
Chris
brought a lot and
Cieslik,
sold a lot.
who,
Oh, yeah.
you're quite familiar with.
Yes, it's great.
Over at Asmati. He was like, they went crazy.
Yeah, it was a
Nuts over there.
Gen Con was an excellent show for us, and Compile did very well, and we are excited to have it at PAX. We almost certainly do not have enough.
Yeah, we don't.
But we are in the midst of printing another print run of it right now.
Of V1.
Yes, and so so if you are going to be at PAX, dearest viewers, and you long to have a copy of Compile of your own, fantastic. Come join us as soon as possible, Friday ideally.
In our pavilion.
I
Yes.
do appreciate people already talking themselves into buying the playmat.
Well, no, listen, I already tried to sell it in the news post.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. I saw it. Thank you.
I am a sucker for this type of shit.
Yeah.
I cannot, like, it makes the game better.
Yeah, it really does.
It's a good game.
I-
I played it on tables. I've played it on a carpet.
If
you have this-
the prototype materials, the game is still that good. But this is, these cards. One of the things.
They're so elite. Here.
The cool thing about these cards is that they have.
Bring it back to, like, the
we
times.
wanted to do like the card stock itself is very high quality to the point that people ask, "Is this like a plastic card stock?" No, it's full paper, but it's sturdy.
Yeah.
And then there's foiling on the cards that you can
see that.
see. There's an amount of foiling, but we didn't want to make the art
Yeah,
hard to
it's
see.
like a circuitry.
So the foiling is just the card frame information.
Here, and something else that I thought was funny is that because you could look at the art and say, is this like a Mid-Journey thing? And no, you told a person
Yes.
to make AI-looking art.
Yes. So Nolan Nasser, who's a phenomenal artist who's worked with us for
Clearly.
many years, he did a bunch of stuff for Spirit Island and has worked on many other games with us. He did a bunch of stuff for Defenders. That's tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
You don't want to jump the gun there.
I thought this shit was. I thought it was on lock.
Oh,
it was
just-
so good.
Just yeah, it's
To be fair, you were willing to buy it when it was black and white printout. You were like, "Can I have this?" And I'm like, "No, it's
so
not
Nolan
done yet."
did all these arts for this game, and we told him the story and the theme. We played the game with him, and he was, I know what I'm going to do. And he starts throwing together sketches, and he does all these paintings where, for instance, Spirit, the protocol that I'm playing here, has, I'm putting in a thing.
Yeah.
So Spirit, this is the loading side, and you can see that it's kind of glitchy and hard to see what's going on. But once I've compiled the Spirit line,
Oh, so crisp.
it switches over to the full art of the painting he did. And all these paintings he did is like, he got in his brain, he's like, I want to do this in a way that a computer would drop, but I'm gonna paint it all myself by hand in a way that is like the sort of thing a computer might imagine, but not made by a computer, made by human hand. And so I'm very excited for people on the internet to be mad at us for using AI art. And they're like, no, this is real art
Here,
done by.
Here is a way for you to buy a limited edition print.
Oh yeah. And he has, I think he's doing some like playmats or posters or something.
Yeah, absolutely, both.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes they do giant editions of games, like Root or whatever?
Yeah.
There should be a giant edition where it's all prints. And it's like, it's a you need a wheelbarrow, obviously, to get in. Now, would you like to talk about how the game functions?
Absolutely. So we've got our decks of cards, and we've already shuffled up all of our cards. All of the 3 sets of 6 cards, all 18 cards become our deck. We shuffle them up. Now, before we start playing things, I am going to, all of these cards are love cards, it's great. I'm going to do some examples of how things work in the game. When I have my hand of cards on your turn,
Yes.
you're going to do one of 3 things.
Right.
You're going to either play a card, or compile, or refresh. I'll talk about compile and refresh in a minute, but playing card is a start. When you play a card, you take a card from your hand, and you play it either face up or face down in one of your 3 lines. We have these 3 lines. This is the line of spirit and speed. This is the line of fire and psychic, and this is the line of water and love. So if I have, for instance, a love card and I want to play it face up, I must play it in the love line. However, I did say you can play cards face down. Any card can be played face down in any line. I can play this card face down here, and then if some effect later in the game happens to turn it face up, just because it's a spirit card in the psychic line, it's not like it fails, there's no problems.
It's valid.
It's valid, it happens, it goes off, it does a thing, but it does not, you can play face down anywhere, but if I want to play this card face up, I must play it in
its own line.
That's right.
Its own line.
Yeah, no worries. So, when you play cards, now you've noticed, I'm sure, that the cards have 3 zones that text is printed on, the top, middle, and bottom.
Right.
Middle effects are, like this spirit card here, the spirit card says, you may flip 1 card. And so when I play this card, if I were to play it right now, the only option for it to flip is itself. So I could choose to play it and flip itself. But let's say you had this strong card over here, and they didn't like you having that 4. I play this, and then I may flip 1 card. So I flip the card that I choose. Now it says you may, so I didn't have to.
Exactly.
Some cards will say flip 1 card.
Yeah.
And if you can, then you must. So if I in fact had a card in hand that said delete 1 card, and it was the first card played, I would play it, it would delete itself, and then I would feel foolish. So
Well, it's very sad. I mean, and obviously I'll try, if I see you putting a card out, like, Chris,
I appreciate
reel
it.
it in.
Thank you.
All friends here.
Thank you so
Right?
much. I
Exactly.
appreciate it.
Same team, sort of.
Yeah, same team, but one of us will win.
Yes, exactly.
So when you play a card, the middle effect is the active effect that happens
play.
on the text entering play, which
On
can happen in
reveal,
3 ways.
Right.
When you play the card, certainly. As I mentioned, cards can be turned face down and face up again. If a card is face down and gets turned face up, that text has become revealed.
Exactly.
The other thing is that when cards are played in the line, so let's say I've got my love card here in the love line, I've got my spirit card here in the spirit line.
It's lovely.
Exactly. And I play this card here on top of this, but then you decide you do not like my spirit one. So you play some card that deletes it, going to the trash, or returns it to my hand, or even shifts it to another line. Any of those things happen, that text has become revealed, so it activates.
So especially in the case of spirit, which I think is worth talking about.
Yeah.
Spirit is only 2 points.
That card is. Yeah.
Ultimately, we would like to have 10 points in a line.
That's right.
At least, and we can use that to essentially claim that line. We'll go into compiling in a sec.
Right.
But it's only 2 points, and I think that's partly because its power is filthy nasty.
That's correct.
Removing something from this, letting you have access to that more than one time, flipping a card.
It's hugely powerful. And this is the thing. So the cards are numbered. We mentioned that the 5s are all the same. All the 5s say you discard 1 card. So when I play a card, when I play a 5 card, I must discard a card from hand.
Right, because the point value is so high.
Right. 10 points is what we need to compile a line, and 5 is halfway there.
Right.
So your 0, 1, so in general, the sets of cards, the sets of the 6 cards are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are occasional sets that have a 6.
I've seen some weird stuff on
And the
these sixes.
the sixes usually have a cost or drawback of some terrible sort. And if you have a 6, then you're missing a 0 or you're missing a 3, depending on what the deck
Yeah,
is.
you're missing part of your arc.
Right. But you have a 6.
Yes.
Which is good. So, but when you look at those cards, like the 5 has a cost to you. The 4s are going to be very situational. They can have some good effects, but they're tricky to get off. The 3s are kind of your middle of the road cards, but your 0s, 1s, and 2s, the 0, 1s,
They
and 2s are where
express
the
the
power is.
identity of the protocol typically.
So like
very
the
well.
Spirit 1 card, for instance, lets me play cards in any line I don't have to worry about. I can play a love card in the Psychic line
once
as
it's
long as that
out-
card's out there. Right. And when I play it, it immediately allows me to draw 2 cards, so it gives me more resources. And then at the start of my turn, it'll go away unless I pay to keep it. And if I pay to keep it and then cover up the bottom half, so I've talked about the middle half but I haven't talked about the bottom and top bits. The top and bottom bits of text on these cards are the ongoing effects that are true as long as that is uncovered. So when I play the Spirit 1 here, the top is visible, the bottom is visible, it's all true.
Right.
Now if I play another Spirit card on top of it, or any card face down on top of it, the bottom text is gone, so that ongoing effect is no longer in play. Only text that's in play can activate.
Right.
The top text still is there, so now I can just play cards in any line.
Yeah, and just for our friends at home, you cannot play this up here.
That's correct. All cards are played leaving the bottom
Yeah.
sections, or leaving the topmost section uncovered.
Exactly right. And that's why on a lot of cards, that section is blank.
Yep. But there are many cards that have cool top effects. Because the
Yes.
top ongoing effects are the strongest ongoing effects.
It's the
in
weird
general.
stuff.
Yeah. So that is the rules around playing a card. And we'll talk about it more as we play the game, but that's it.
Absolutely.
The other two things you can do on your turn is refresh and compile. Refresh is drawing back up to a hand of 5 cards. You'll start with 5 cards in hand at the beginning of the game, and refreshing brings your hand back up to 5 cards. You cannot refresh if you have 5 cards in hand. You can't choose to take the refresh action to no effect.
Right.
So you have to have 4 or fewer cards in hand, and if you have 0 cards in hand, you're gonna refresh that turn unless something else is going on. But yeah, you don't. There's no like at the beginning of your turn or end of your turn, draw a card.
No,
Nothing like that happens.
It's a whole turn.
Yes, and so the timing and the strategy around when
So
to refresh.
dangerous.
Yeah,
You lose the game drawing at the wrong time.
Absolutely.
Right.
But you also lose the game by waiting too long to draw, and then you're like, oh no, I'm out of resources at this crucial time.
Probably not a 0,
Yeah, it's
not
tricky.
a 3,
Yeah,
but between 1 and 2.
yeah. I've definitely refreshed at 3 before where I'm like, I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
I'm ahead of my opponent. I have control. I'm going to refresh. I like the game state where
On
it is.
game state,
Yeah.
you would make that call, but for the most part, it's going to be
Exactly.
Sort of,
1s and 2s are the right places to put it.
Right,
but
so-
I do something.
So we play cards, we can refresh. Is there anything else we can do, or is that the whole game?
We can attempt to win the game. The most important action is compile.
Yeah.
So at the start of your turn, if you have 10 or more points in a line and more points than your opponent. So if I have 10 points here, but you also have 10 or 11 or more there, I can't compile this line.
No.
But if I have 10 or more points in a line and more points than my opponent, the thing I do that turn is compile. That's the whole turn.
Right.
When you compile, it deletes all the cards from both sides of the line.
Yes.
All of them go to the
It's
trash.
evil.
And if I've compiled the Psychic line, for instance, now I've compiled Psychic, and whoever compiles all 3 of their protocols first wins.
Yes.
So once I've compiled the Psychic, it's not like you don't care about fire anymore. It's not about winning this line. I've not won this line. I've compiled this protocol.
And I can still compile fire.
You must
This doesn't
to win.
keep exactly. This doesn't keep me from doing my thing. But
Absolutely.
when you wipe out my line,
it sets you back. And so there's times in which, like, if you're building up a big number here, and I'm like, oh no, he's going to compile fire, but I have the ability to compile this line again, I would do so just to clear out your line.
Exactly.
Now, upon recompiling, it doesn't flip this or anything. It's already compiled. But when you recompile a line, it still deletes the whole line, and you draw the top card of your opponent's deck and put it in your hand.
Delicious.
So recompiling a line gives you a resource from your opponent.
getting opponent cards feels so wrong, but so right.
Don't worry, I'm going to do a bunch this
Yeah,
time.
it's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay, so those are pretty much all the rules. We'll talk about any specifics as they come up.
Yeah.
The only last thing
Right.
is an optional addition to the game, which is, in our opinion, the way to play the game.
The game.
Yes.
The teaching game we usually do without this little fellow over here.
That's right.
But
This special young gentleman.
But I have played this game with you before.
Yes.
I think you know it, and I believe that your stream is sophisticated enough to pick up what's going on here.
Guarantee you that they have seen cards before and they are unafraid.
Great. So I am going to attempt to sway you into playing this game with control with me.
All right. Well, I'm going to agree with you.
Oh, fantastic.
And this is why. So as we've described the game, of course, we are trying to compile our lines. And you can compile a line, it wipes my stuff out, but I still have to compile it to win because I need 3 points.
Right.
Now, the difference is that what that advocates is to go really, really hard on a line that you are not attacking.
Right.
And so the learning game is still one of the greatest games I've ever played.
Thank you.
The intro to the game is exquisite.
Yeah.
But it is reductive for that reason.
Right. It's a race. It's just a numbers race.
And it's a good race.
But it's simple.
But it's simple.
Yeah.
We get access to this when we are winning 2 lines.
Right. So at the start of your turn,
Yes.
if you have control
Yes.
in 2 or more lines, if you have more points than your opponent. So if we're tied on a line,
Yeah.
nobody's winning that line.
Right.
But if I have 2 and 3 and 1, and you have nothing,
Right.
or are beating me in one of those lines, but I'm still beating in 2 lines,
Right.
then at the start of my turn, I would gain control. When you have control, you just hang on. It doesn't do anything for you until when you take the compile or refresh action.
Yes.
When you're compiling or refreshing, you first spend control. So let's say
Yes.
I'm compiling
It's
or refreshing.
consumed.
It is consumed, regardless of whether or not you use it.
Oh,
If you have control and you compile or refresh, control is gone.
interesting. Okay.
You have lost control,
Ho, ho.
regardless of whether or not you use its benefit.
Yeah.
Its benefit is when control is spent, whether you choose to or not, control is spent. When control is spent, I may, before taking the compile or refresh. Okay, I'm fixing to compile or refresh.
Right.
Control is spent, and now I may rearrange my protocols or your protocols. Not everything underneath it, but I can say, oh, you know what? I've spent control, and so I'm going to mix those around like this.
Yeah. And why would
Or
you do that?
mix yours around. And let me tell you why I would do that.
Yeah.
Let's say you've compiled 2 of your protocols. So you are fixing to win.
Yeah.
And I've compiled none. I have done nothing this game. I've been a layabout and a wastrel and a scoundrel.
Exactly.
However, I happen to have control.
This time.
And you have 10 points in this line.
Yeah.
And I have 2 cards in hand. Well, here's what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'll take the refresh action. But before I take the refresh action, I spin to this and do that.
Right. So now your 10 points are in a compiled line.
So you're recompiling, you're getting the top card of my deck. You're still in good shape,
Yeah.
but I've saved myself. So that is the way you use it for like the last
Defensive.
ditch. Right. You can also use it offensively. I used it earlier today to win a game where I was like, okay, I cannot compile these lines because Matt is blocking me out. But I can compile this line, so I will get control, compile that line, and before compiling it, switch it with one of the ones that I can't compile.
Exactly.
He played it. I accidentally played an amazing thing that cost me the game so early.
Yeah.
So early.
It was so strong.
I was
good.
going to compile 2 lines.
Yeah.
Zesty. Well, here.
Yeah. We should. I was trying to start with a
Dachi?
little bit of a.
Yeah.
okay.
Let me help you out there.
I appreciate it.
Now, okay, so what do we think? Is it time to draw?
Yes, absolutely. So because you drafted protocols
Yes.
first, you play first. So go ahead and after I've shuffled and unshuffled this deck so many
Yes,
times.
many times.
I'll give it one more quick shuffle, enjoying the feel of the cards in my hand.
It really is nice. So
then-
is that a coating? It's just a heavy stock?
It's just a heavy stock. It has a slight coating to it, just so because the foiling has to have a coating
On something,
to
yeah.
keep it even. Because if you feel across the back, the foiling is not raised in any way.
And this is a set that got played at Gen Con for 4 days.
Isn't this one of the PAX East and Gen Con sets?
Yes.
Your trip,
Yes, it is.
Your trip deck?
So this deck has been played definitely dozens and perhaps hundreds of times, and these cards still look crisp.
And there's no curve, because that's a thing that people
Oh
are
yeah,
concerned
people
about with foil on cards, is that the cards
They
tend to...
get-
Oh,
they
they
get-
get taught.
Yeah.
Nope.
So starting hand of
Legend by
5
color.
cards.
Starting hand of 5 cards.
All right, and you may begin at your leisure.
Okay, now, this is quite an odd hand.
Oh, that's great. Not an even
It's like
hand
all
then.
3s and 5s.
Interesting. Okay, so now we're going to start looking at some of these great concepts. So I can have more than 5 cards?
You can, but at the end of your turn, the step before the end step is called check cash, and you check cash, you just see if you have more than 5 cards in hand. If you do, you discard down to 5.
Perfect. Well, I'm going to play in my fire line, I'm going to play this 4.
All right, and so it tells you to discard one or more cards.
Yes,
You,
and I
so
will.
you must discard one.
Yes.
But then you can discard any number beyond that if you want, and then
And
4.
then get a bonus kicker.
That's right.
At the end.
That's right.
So I am going to
What's the kicker?
discard.
You draw the number of cards
discarded.
discarded plus 1.
Oh.
Yep. So I'm going to discard 4 cards.
Oh, fantastic! You want a whole new hand.
Yes. And I'm going to get a whole new hand, but the 4 is out. So already,
Yeah, you're at as if
yes.
you'd never even spent any cards from hand. You're back to a full hand.
So already the flames have begun to rise.
yeah, and I think that's wonderful.
For you.
It's beautiful,
Yeah, it is. It's exquisite.
and I think
Yeah.
that 5 cards in hand is not enough.
Really?
I think you should have more.
Well, I mean, you and I are in agreement on that.
Absolutely. So I'm going to.
I thought it was going to have to be a whole conversation.
No. I want you to have have in abundance.
Thank you.
So I'm going to play this love 6 card. Don't worry about the fact that it says 6 on the top. That's not a concerning number of points or anything. But love.
Wait, it's also the number of the beast.
Well, but there's only one of them. You'd have to be worried if there are 2 more
I
6s,
guess
right?
that's true. I
Is
guess
he
that's
trying to mill his deck?
I'm going to play this love 6,
Yeah.
and it allows you to draw 2 cards. So, and it's not an option. You must. You go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
So now you have 7 cards in hand.
Yay!
Delightful.
But he has to discard down to 5,
The
right?
end of his turn. So now he has all these options.
Right, and the thing is, because he has 7 cards in hand, he'll play 1 on this turn, and probably
Yeah.
he can't take the refresh action.
Right.
So he'll play 1,
Yeah.
and so then he'll be down to 6. He'll only have to discard 1. So this really does benefit him. It only is going to make him toss 1 card, and he'll toss his least favorite.
Unless he's playing fire.
Well,
this is true.
Well, he is playing speed.
Right, fire and speed. He might be able to capitalize on this.
Speed.
But this is a good time for me to get out love 6. Love 6 is good when my opponent has very few cards or very lots of cards.
Here,
So if
so
the card is discarded out of the game,
No, so this is the question.
trash.
No, if you in a game of compile,
this is
you
the law of
will.
the conservation of compile.
Yeah, you will run through your deck at least. You only have 18 cards. You're going to go through it at least once over the course of the game. When you would
And
draw
fire, you're gonna go through
and
it
have
a
nothing in your
couple
deck, you shuffle your trash, but only draw. If something reveals a top card of your deck and you have no top card of your deck, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So I was given a very interesting card from your love card.
Yes.
And it's Fire 1, which says that I can discard 1 card.
Yeah.
And if I do, I can delete 1 card.
And you're going to delete that Fire 4?
No, absolutely not, because I have to play this on here. And
Oh,
the 4
sure.
is no longer exposed, and thus is not subject to card utilization.
It's true.
Unless there's a specific call out on the card.
That's correct. Now, a thing you could do with it
Yes.
is you
if there
could
was a card on the opposite.
discard a card and delete this card, triggering this again.
Unless it specifies.
So you could do that.
You certainly could. I could get a whole new hand again.
Yeah, you could. And
But-
instead of getting rid of my love 6.
No. Unfortunately, that's happening.
Oh, no.
Now,
But you don't have to.
no.
Is what I'm
do
saying.
Of course
something
not. Of
else.
course not. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete. I'm going to discard this speed 0.
You're not interested in speed? That's fine.
No.
don't you
Speed
just play
0. So 0 cards. I have a 0 cost or points, right? And then it allows you to play an additional card. And so there's going to be things that interact with stacks, but
But there's change.
no,
It's gone.
Nay. I say the nay. Now, I would like to delete 1 card, and that is the love 6.
Yes, and the thing that you mentioned, which
Yes.
we did not talk about in the rules section,
Yeah.
was that you could only delete. You couldn't possibly delete this 4.
Correct.
Because covered cards are protected.
That's right.
The only thing that can delete a covered card, if this Fire 4 is covered, and the only thing that can delete a covered card is something that says delete a covered card.
Yeah.
Or something that says delete all. Something like say delete all 2s in a line, or something like that. All means all.
Yes.
But right now, your valid targets for deletion are itself and this card.
Exactly.
And you're choosing the.
I'm going with the love 6,
Okay, all right,
unfortunately.
okay.
At this time.
Sure, that's fine. I mostly play that card so you could draw cards. So
At this time.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
So I was able to get rid of enough cards to keep the hand.
That's great. I love that for you. Well, here's the thing.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, you're still your full hand size, and
more?
I made a claim about you wanting you to have
Abundance.
cards. Yes, abundance. And I am not just because you've deleted my card. I'm not taking my claim back.
No.
I am going to play this love 2, and you draw a card.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Love 2 says your opponent draws a card, and then it says the word refresh. So I take the refresh action, which is normally a whole turn, but instead I just get to do it now. I have 3 cards in hand.
Oh, so
I
love gives
go
you. So
back
it's so we're talking about a fecundity situation here via the love deck.
Yes.
Okay, fair.
Love begets love.
It's all about sharing. Sharing is caring.
Okay, so it's back over to me.
Indeed, it is. Giving is the true gift, as it says on the love card.
It must have been love.
Intriguing.
But it's over now.
We played a game this morning with love and secrets that you might see later.
Yeah.
And it was a
It was a good game.
it was a really good. It's rare that Christopher and I can go 45 minutes in a game.
Yeah, our games are usually 20 minutes or less, and that game. Okay, so you've played a Speed 2 card that has no active text, so it doesn't activate now.
No, exactly.
But it does
But
have
it
an
does
ongoing
have
effect.
A very zesty piece of top text.
Yeah.
Which says that when this card would be deleted
By compiling.
by compiling,
Yeah.
it doesn't go away. In fact, it just goes to another line.
And this happens in 2 cases. If you compile a line with that, you get to save it. If I compile a line,
still happens.
you still get to save it.
It's very cool. So I wanted to get that out there early on the row. I'm going to have to protect it soon with another card if I don't want it to get chewed up.
Oh, it's very good. It's very strong. I love to see it, and it forces my hand.
Really?
Yes.
In what way?
So it's my turn now.
Yes.
If I do not match or beat your strength in at least one of these lines, you will gain control at the beginning.
Correct.
If it were right now at the beginning of your next turn, you would gain control.
Yes.
I cannot have that.
No.
I don't want you in control. No. I want to be in control.
Yeah, exactly. It makes perfect sense, and I respect it, honestly.
Great.
Tyrannosaurus, I understand. We are going to be working on a FAQ over the fall.
I turned Tyron onto this.
Yes.
And they will tell you as much.
And they have been a delight at conventions.
Oh, yes.
And so I'm excited.
They'll run the booth for you.
Are you going to? I hope so. You're going to be at PAX? You're going to be at PAX this weekend?
Yeah.
Come by. Come see us.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, we have things to show you. It is
Such things.
time for me to play a spirit card.
Yeah,
I've
let's see
been
it.
delaying. I've been leaning into love, but it's time for spirit.
Yeah.
And it's a card that you know the text of.
Oh.
I don't even need to put it over
Is
there.
it 5?
It's a 5.
Yeah. you must discard one card.
I shall discard one card. I'll discard a love 5.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's another discard, right? So we're back at it. Once again.
Krispy Kreme.
Intriguing. Okay.
We have donuts?
God, I wish.
I've already sold you 30 copies of this game to my friends and family. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So now you have, we are each,
Oh, Just Gravy.
Fine,
Just Gravy LLC is in the chat. Just Gravy is Michael Young, the original designer of this game.
Oh, ho, ho.
Yes. Yes, it's great to have him.
honored guest.
Yeah, for sure.
We have permission from his wife to blow up his spot every time he appears.
As
Oh,
it should
good.
be.
As embarrassed as possible.
Well, here, tell me if this does anything for you.
Ooh.
We're going to go with the water one,
Uh-huh.
where you play the top card of your deck face down in every other line.
So you're going to get some points in your water line, and you're going to increase your points in 2 other lines.
Yes,
I care for it not.
that's the fantasy. Anyway, but they are face down.
In each other line.
Yes, exactly.
Now, once you've played those cards face down, you can't look at them as you're playing them because you're just playing them face down.
don't
However,
know. Yeah.
face down cards. So all information in this game, there's some information that's public and not.
Yeah,
Let's say I forgot what Fire 4 did.
yeah.
Fire 4 is
You
a face
can-
up
you
card.
can peek.
I can look. I'd be like, remind me what Fire 4 does.
It had been revealed at one point.
That's correct. Well, and there are things that have been revealed because, like, if these cards used to be face up and got turned face down, I couldn't look at them. However,
That's right.
You can look at your own face down cards at any time, and I can look at my own face down cards at any time. But I cannot look at yours, and you cannot look at mine.
Right.
So these 2 cards that you don't know what they are, you may look at them. You are allowed to know.
Oh, I can.
You can.
Oh, zesty.
Yeah.
You
So
might be able to flip them or
Oh, no,
manipulate them later.
for sure. I was just excited.
right, so that's information that you do have access to. However, your turn is over.
It is. It would appear.
I gain control.
Because
I have 5 to your 4 and 2 to your 1.
That's right. So
You're beating me soundly here.
Yeah,
There's
so-
not a thing I can do about it.
Oh wow. So what do you? I guess we'll see what you do.
Oh, it's just going to hang out there.
So you have collected your bounty.
Yeah, and now that I have control, I flip it over and just reveal the thing that says, if you have control, win the game.
Oh, that
What? Yeah, no, it doesn't.
special
But yeah, it's in the errata.
developer
That's
content.
right.
The other side of the control component says.
I'm doing some play
just
testing.
win the game
How do you
errata.
feel about that rule? Do you like it? Yay, nay?
Yeah, it's going to shake out.
We'll strike it. We'll strike
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
I got the red pen.
So what are you thinking now?
So now I get to do my regular turn. I could refresh, spending
refresh,
control.
which would expend control.
Cannot compile.
Nope.
Another thing I mentioned, I failed to mention, if you can compile, you must compile.
Exactly.
You can't be like, oh, I'm going to sit on my 10 and do something else. No. If you can, you must compile.
It's your first night.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly correct. So
have to fight.
I want you to have more information.
Same.
Like I liked giving you cards.
So far,
and that seemed
this
to
has
go
been-
well.
This relationship has been potent.
But I do.
And lucrative.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm actually just going to kind of take it easy and just play a Psychic 4 here. It doesn't really do anything. It gives me an end of turn action, but I probably won't even use it.
Well, what is it?
Well, at the end of the turn, I can choose. Well, at the end of the turn, I can choose to return one of your cards to your hand, and if I do so, this card flips from before to its face-down 2 side.
Intriguing.
However, I'm just going to let it be there. It is now the end of my turn. I could activate it, but I shan't. Uh-oh. Is it mic time?
Aha. Should be okay.
Is it there?
Oh, it's just bunchy.
Mm. If you can't compile, you must compile.
Yeah. Well, okay, we'll play that way. Right here. So now you have played. Now is it the end of your turn?
It is the end of my
Are you going to utilize this wickedness? No. Not yet.
I'm gonna have it sit there, vaguely threatening you.
Yeah, because there isn't any reason for you to give me back these cards.
In fact, if I returned this card to your hand, it would do not really much. If I returned this card to your hand, it would activate that, and returning this card to your hand, you'd do it again. I don't want that.
No. And also, you'd be giving me one of these cards that are from my deck. I don't even know what they are yet.
That's right.
Here, you know what? Let me look.
Secrets.
Oh my! I'm so tantalized.
That's my attack. Or...
Let's see, look at this. That's crazy. That's truly madness.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so it's back over to me. Now,
back to you.
You're not compiling and you're not refreshing, and so the control token
That's the meanest
rests.
thing you've ever said to me. I think I'm somewhat refreshing.
Controlling would. I mean, I think anyone would agree that that's unkind.
Someone's not going for love.
It's over now.
Must have been good.
Okay.
Oh, did Just Gravy get a
Somehow.
get an icon of some sort? Was he gifted?
All right, now I'm gonna play this water too, which is very tasty.
Mm-hmm.
It allows me to draw 2 cards. So talking about refreshing.
Yeah.
I have been able to play for a really long time, much longer than I should have been able to, because you're playing love,
I'm just giving you gifts.
right?
So you draw 2 cards.
Yes, exactly right.
And with each of these, you do each sentence 1 sentence at a time. So if there's anything that could interrupt it, it would happen in between sentences, which some things can, but in this case, no. So you draw 2 cards, and then you rearrange your protocols. Now, it does not say you may rearrange your protocols. So you must change the order of your protocols in some manner.
Deal.
Fascinating. Accepted.
We'll swap it.
All right.
We'll swap speed and water,
Yeah.
and now play returns to you.
Yes, and I am in
Mr.
danger. Not just because you have so many points on the field, which you really do, but also because currently in the current game state, you're beating me here and here. It is not the start of your turn, but were it, you would steal control from me.
Correct.
So
You want to pump up the volume on your side.
I got to use it or lose
the
it, as they
jets.
say.
Yeah, and water over here. I'm only past you by 1.
Yeah, so I could beat it there. There's an option. But instead, what I will do is I will play the Spirit 0, gaining me no points. Spirit 0 has an active text and a bottom text. The active text says refresh. And when I take the refresh action, control happens.
True.
So I refresh, it says. Before doing so, control is spent. And I am going to...
Well, I think I know what you're going to do. Now, would I be correct in saying that you saw me rearrange last time because I had to, and you saw me leave fire alone. So now, would I be correct in saying that you're seeing something maybe about that fire protocol, maybe something you'd like to go somewhere else?
I think this is an interesting thing you're proposing, but I think you might have left fire alone because you have the card you want to play there.
I mean, who can say?
Right. So all I'm going to do is just do a little scoot, just a little minor scoot, just a little scoot like that.
No!
And then I'm going to refresh, which draws up to 5 as we know. But that's not all that card says. It says refresh, and then it says draw 1 card. So now I have 6 cards in my hand.
Yes.
And then the
hasn't played
bottom
one card
text
in ages.
says
this is-
skip your
he's been
check cash
spiritually.
phase. So I do not discard down to 5.
Here, can we put that in the box?
Well,
So
all
this
means.
is everybody getting a sense of how wild some of these combinations are?
I am.
So 0 points. You already knew. You've known for years. 0 points.
So we
But
just went over this. It
you
was like
get
18 months.
you refresh your hand and then draw one extra card on top.
1.5
And then
years.
the bottom text, until such time as you cover it,
Yes.
allows you to break the rule about how many cards you can have in hand.
Right. So now, as long as that bottom text is uncovered, I could have my entire deck in my hand and
Yeah.
not discard down.
Burn the card.
Correct. And especially if you have love, or so spirit plus speed.
Sure.
Or spirit plus water.
Spirit plus
could be
life would be a lot of
malevolent.
card draw. Yeah.
right.
Or life.
Now you're
Malevolent.
seeing
Now
this
you're-
stuff, right?
And now you
I like Spirit Life
have
Water.
all of your cards in your hand.
I like to describe
And-
spirit to people as freedom of play in your play area, and then psychic is control over your opponent's play area.
Yeah. At first, when you first begin, you just see, blonde, brunette, redhead. But then you start to see,
Something new.
Yeah. Anyway, so it is the start of your turn.
Yes,
I have not changed the point totals that I was concerned about.
that's true. So now it's control for me.
You gain control.
All right, now this gets when I compile or when I refresh is when I am allowed to swap these thingies.
Yes, your protocol
Yours
is
or mine.
That's correct, but not both. Just one or the other.
Nay.
There isn't a card in Wave 1.
In wave one, I'm not looking off screen for any reason.
Why would you? That'd be weird.
There would be nothing hidden behind a rock.
Nothing is behind a rock.
Not a single thing
Now
hidden
that
behind a rock.
speed is here.
It seems like I've played right into your plans.
Let's try.
I've fallen for it.
Here, so we're going to shift one of my other cards.
Right. So now,
Yes.
if you were to shift a card on top of that card, then the bottom text would be covered up,
Exactly.
which you may or may not care about because you're going to compile next turn, probably.
The thing you were doing was so cool.
Yeah, he's right.
It's very good.
Now, you don't have to shift that on top of it. You can shift it on top of it, or you can shift it to a different line. You just must shift either this card or this card because it's one of the
I
other.
think that I have to take this just for the kicks.
It's very cool.
Well, I need people to see it.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to shift one of my other cards.
Yep. Very cool. And then,
And now this middle text
Yes.
is revealed again.
yep.
Just for everyone at home. Play the top card of your deck face down in each other line. Now, I only have one card available.
It's true. And we said that draw was the thing that refreshes your deck. Play does not.
Okay. So I am limited here somewhat. But I do get one free.
You get one free, and it can,
And I get to choose where.
it can either go here or there
Right.
because it's each other line.
Yeah, exactly. So
You're very close there in that.
why
All
not
right.
go-
Because
why not go here?
that puts you at 10 here and 8 there. I hate that. That's terrible.
It's not good.
I do not care for it.
And now the rest of that speed card continues to resolve.
Yeah. So
Well,
I can
then we move on to the end phase at which
Yeah.
it says,
yeah, exactly. So I can shift one of my cards.
yeah,
If I do,
uh-huh. But if you do, what does that do?
this card gets flipped.
And it'll go down
And
to
I
2.
need it to be
If you want to compile.
in order to compile.
If you wanted to
And right
compile.
now I do. Right
Right.
now I want to.
Because if you were like, I'm willing to take the things, you could shift to activate that water 2 again. That'd be very cool, but it would leave you not at
Right.
10 points. So what's more important to you, the compiling
Yeah,
or the
no, so,
resources?
but this could get shifted to here.
It could. But if and if it did, that card wouldn't flip
Because it can't.
because it can't.
And
So you could shift that to there
then it would also reveal draw 2 cards.
and do it.
Rearrange my protocol.
Uh-huh.
So I should.
Yes, as long as you don't mess up your thing.
Yeah, no. Wait. It says draw 2 cards.
Yeah, that'll refresh.
That'll refresh.
Yeah.
Then we have to do it because it's weird.
Yes.
Right.
So don't shift that to the fire line.
No.
Right.
It's got to go over here.
No.
No.
You got to cover this card up so it doesn't.
Yes,
so you don't lose
exactly.
it. So you shift it there.
Yeah.
Great.
Now,
Then blocking that text. So it
yes,
doesn't
exactly.
flip.
Now the text is covered up. Now I draw 2 cards
Right.
because this has been revealed.
Yep. So shuffle up your trash, make a new deck, draw 2 cards out of that deck.
While that's happening, Yoshi there says, yes, we had the control token at Unblock 23.
But we didn't usually use it in demos.
Yeah, we don't use it in
not in
demos.
learning games.
It has
right?
been part of the game since day one.
It's been right. It's been part of the game since we've been working on the game.
And it is the thing the game is balanced around.
Yeah.
So it is, when Just Gravy says it is the way to
It is
play.
definitely
it
the
is,
way.
Yes.
It is, we
This is
build
the game of
decks with
compile.
that in mind.
Yeah. Again, because it's reductive.
Otherwise it's a race.
If we're not wrestling,
Yeah.
And that's still a pretty good game.
It's still amazing, but that's what's up now. So
You must now rearrange your protocols.
exactly.
So the question is, what you're about to compile speed. Is speed what you want to compile? Based on what's in your hand, would you rather compile something else? Or is speed what you want to compile, in which case swap water and fire, or something like that?
So you could swap
Yeah,
any of
exactly.
those out to compile.
I mean, that's
instead.
Correct.
He's like, oh man,
This is good. I mean, I think
don't have a lot of fire. Who cares? Compile a fire.
Right.
Yeah, take notes because you're up next.
Also, speed
That's
is kind of
so
easy to
weird.
compile.
That's a truly
Latest, like,
that is a truly original
tiny bit
decision.
Yeah, you got an interesting
It's
spot
like
here.
in game stuff
The
because
cards go back into
I can make
your
a bunch of
trash.
these things.
Go right in the trash.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever
Right.
removed
So
from
it's
the
a
game.
matter of what are you most set up for
I don't have
future
anything written
turns.
that's Remove it
Exactly.
from the game.
You've got me in a really tight spot here.
Yeah. So let's just try this here.
All right,
We'll go ahead and compile fire.
fantastic. Or you probably will.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do my best.
Right.
So I'm currently
Yep. You're in a very good spot.
next time I play, when a turn comes back to me, compile is my whole action.
Right.
So there's a lot that can happen in one turn.
Yep.
There's a reason that I put extra points here.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because now, if I delete that card, if I return that card, if I flip that card, doesn't do me any good. I would have to have something like delete a covered card or
Yes.
return a covered card and get rid of that fire 4.
Yes,
Okay.
In your psychic,
I actually don't think there's anything in any of his protocols to do that.
any filthy nasty.
Oh no. Oh no.
In the
Oh,
core
no.
box, there's
Maybe.
Oh no. I'm in trouble.
darkness.
I'm in
Are you
trouble.
Here, well, let's tell me more, and please don't spare
Like,
the
does he have a
detail.
card?
Well, so
No.
this line is going to compile in your turn.
Yeah, unless you do.
He's
something.
going.
Right, and what I'm telling you is
It's
this
gonna
guy is going to compile in your turn. That's going to happen. And so now, rather than letting that, this is the thing that I see with a lot of players, where they'll be like, "This line is going to compile. I've got to stop it. I've got to." No, I don't. It's still 3 and 3. Nothing has been compiled yet.
And let's be frank. Your psychic line. This is not your locus of action here.
Right.
It's not a
So
big deal if you lose that one card.
Right.
Now, is there a way for you to play something that lets you swap or shift a card so that you retain the value?
sure. The other thing that I want to point out here is that I'm beating you here, and I'm only 1 fewer than you here.
Yeah.
So all you're going to do on your next turn
Is that?
is compile.
Yes.
So I can gain control on my next turn.
Easy.
You can't stop me. So there's no reason for me not to.
And if he had a spirit, he's down. He needs a 5. Never mind.
Yeah, I could, if I had enough points,
Try to fire.
try to
Go hard.
compete and flip
Because
it. But
compile must happen.
compile must happen. That's correct. Unless
have
I
to
have some
compile.
means of stopping it.
Yeah.
And since I don't, I'm
That's right.
freed from that burden.
Exactly. What,
Yeah.
what it means is
If
that
you
you can set up your own compile for your next turn.
That's right.
If you have the juice.
Our good friend Graham at Loading Ready Run once said about this game and that exact thing. I'm going to allow my opponent to eat their cookie so that he can't stop me from eating my cookie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That sounds very grand.
So I'm just going to put this Spirit 3 here, which just has an ongoing effect at the top of the card that says, after I draw cards, I may shift this card, even if it's covered. But I'm just going to put that Spirit 3 there.
Covered.
Even
Oh,
if it's covered.
Top text,
Yeah,
man.
right. It's powerful stuff. So I'm going to put that there, and then it is the end of my turn.
Yes.
This is sitting here, and it says at the end of my turn, I can return one of your cards, and if I do, flip this card.
Yeah.
It's going to get blown up anyway,
Yeah.
but I'm still not going to do it because it benefits me 0. There are cases in which
Yeah.
I would want to return one of those cards as a last hurrah, but actually, you having that back in hand, or you having that back in hand, I'd rather this be on the table.
Real, like fresh draw.
Yeah,
And no.
and I don't want to return that.
No. And you don't. This water one that
So strong.
plays the top card of your deck. I've used it twice.
Yeah, and you've used that twice as well. The ones and the twos. Ones and twos are so good.
We don't want
Zeros
it.
are the
We don't
best.
want it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let it just die because it is now your turn.
Yes.
You must compile. But before you do so, you have control. So control returns to the center. And you may either rearrange these or these protocols, your choice.
Okay.
You can choose to not rearrange any. You don't have to. But based on what you have in your hand, you might be working towards a particular...
Yeah.
This early in the game, it's not going to matter too much.
No. I'm just
But-
going to swap these just so that things are different.
Fantastic. I love it. And then
Variety.
you compile.
I compile.
Deletes everything from that line. The whole line is deleted. Now, as you're doing, thank you so much. All cards in the trash are all face up, so the face down cards do get flipped. And cards in the trash are public information. It's not worth it for me to be like, ooh, hold on, let me see. But I do have access to it. And there was a card we played in a game earlier when we were doing our playtesting of future stuff that it was like, I need to know the contents of your trash for playing this card.
Yeah.
And in that case, okay, you can talk about it. But in general, you've forgot the most important part of compiling.
Oh, which is that I have to.
Score the
So,
point.
yeah,
You have scored?
So look at this right here.
Yeah.
Man, it's coming together. The resolution I don't know. Let's enhance.
It's a little glitchy. If only you could compile that information.
Let's take it to the next one.
Ooh.
Let's elevate the proceedings.
All right. And so now fire has been compiled, and you are a third of your way towards victory. Whereas I remain some schlub.
Yeah, well, I mean, 8's pretty good over there. So that's my whole, but again, that's my
That
whole
is your whole turn?
We're done. It's
It is my turn, and I gain control because I have 8
Because I
versus your 6 and 2 versus your 1. So it is my turn, and I may play a card, or I can refresh. I can't refresh. I have 5 cards in hand. Okay. Well. I don't like it when you do things.
Well, upon that matter,
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to have to disagree.
Okay, so I'm going to play this Psychic 1, which has no middle text. It merely has top and bottom text. The top text indicates that you can only play cards face down. And then the bottom text says at the start of my turn, it'll flip back. So for 1 turn, and merely 1 turn, I will prevent you from doing things.
Okay, so combining psychic and love allows for some really nasty,
Yeah, I'll
Some
give you all the
weird-
resources you
weird
want,
stuff.
and then tell you not to use them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is your turn. You may refresh, you can't compile, and if you play cards anywhere, in any line, not just this one, you can only play them face down.
True. For this turn.
For this turn. Next turn it will flip unless something foolish happens.
Right.
Like, I've seen game states where somebody made a mistake of moving a thing in the wrong way that allowed someone else to cover this up, and then it's like, oh no,
Why would
don't.
you have done that?
Yeah, right, it's bad times. Ooh, 8 points there.
Yes.
8 points, you say.
8 points is the danger zone. Because
That is the danger zone.
you can
Any
always
card-
play face down.
any card
a thing
face
that
down.
I often remind people after the first point. Go.
No,
Remember that?
8 is a dangerous threshold.
Any cards in hand are a threat now.
I has started my turn, so this card flips over as ordained, as foretold.
Holy law.
Yep, that's right. And I love that you have 8 points over there.
Listen, welcome aboard.
I think that's great. If anything, I want you to have more points over there.
We're gonna have hors d'oeuvres like this, the water lane.
It's a party.
It's popping.
Yeah, let's all get in that line.
Please.
Let's have a nice time. So I'm going to play this Psychic 3 here, and Psychic 3 says your opponent discards 1 card. Yeah, it's the cost of doing business. I apologize.
It is. Yeah, and that's fair.
But the important part is after it says my opponent discards 1 card, which he is doing so now, I shift one of your cards, and I'm going to put that water 1 on top of your water line. So now you have 9 points there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
No, face up, stays up. It's all good. All the points you could want.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Your turn.
It's nice of you, and there's no ulterior motives.
That's correct.
Of any kind.
I couldn't see any reason.
Now,
that it'd
what
be a
does the
problem.
return text mean?
Take a card from play and put it back in the owner's hand.
Right. So if you return this card, it goes in my hand. If you return that card, it goes in your hand.
But it's only the most recent.
Unless it says return a covered card, for instance. Yeah.
Same as all other targeting.
Yep. Return one of your cards. It returns itself.
Oh, right. That's
Do you want to do something else?
Yeah, but
Yes.
Do something else.
Well, but then what happens?
Right. It would re-trigger that, but that's not actually that benefit. You can do that
it
if you
is.
want. You want to do that?
it's really dope. This is the weirdest crap here. So
Do it.
No, I mean this is
show-
what I
show the
wanted
class.
people to see.
Yeah.
So
And that is how that card. That is the
Oh,
way
yeah,
you use
yeah,
that card.
yeah,
as well.
no,
That's
because
excellent.
my other line
Yeah.
lost its card.
Yes.
I would have more options
If you had more cards in other
otherwise,
places.
right? I could return another card from another line, right?
Right.
So I'm going to play Water 4 on top of this.
And it says return one of your cards. So it
Correct.
must be one of your own cards, but there's only 1 card that is eligible for return.
And it's this card.
And so that goes back to your hand.
This is going to come
and you
back
re-trigger
to the
that.
hand, and then this asinine card that has delivered so much value
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is going to trigger again.
is going to trigger again.
So you're getting 4 points of value out onto the board,
exactly.
but now in a different avenue.
So I was given a 1 from this line
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
It got shifted
Yeah.
from Psychic. Now this is going to go on top.
No.
Each
What,
other
what,
line.
what does it say?
Play the top card of your deck face down in each other line.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
So now you've got a spread.
everybody
No.
says way out.
Each other line. The word other means other.
line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
other. Oh, okay. Not the same line.
Yours.
Gotcha. All right.
All right. Excellent. It is my
Yeah,
turn.
that's really dope.
That's weird.
And I have played myself.
And it was compulsory.
Yeah. But I've also
The program.
I have played myself.
This does happen.
It was important for me to maintain control in my current strategy.
Oh, I see.
But you have 9 points here.
I do.
And I was beating you here, so I had no concerns.
And now this
But
magical
you have 2 points there.
mystical card.
You steal control from me.
Yeah.
That's very troubling.
That is fantastic.
All right.
Well, at the start of his turn.
This is how I know cool
Yeah.
stuff has happened.
Not now. At
many
the start
cards
of his
do you have in
turn,
hand?
Christopher.
Oh, it's the start of your turn. It's not.
Yeah,
It
you
is
have-
my turn.
you have control
It's my
back.
turn.
Yeah.
I have one turn to rectify this.
But I'm just saying that like we have to emphasize this here. Do we see how Paul is like
Yeah.
on his feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very good.
I have
How many
done
cards do you have in your hand? 3. What a lovely number of cards to have.
I've done so many demos recently that I can from this couch know exactly that board state.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know what?
There's certain board states
this is
that
a goofy
like,
thing.
get cool enough that you're like, I gotta go, like, get up in it.
I gotta go look. I want to look at everybody's card. This is why I like demoing this game
Yeah,
too. Is
'cause
I get to
I'm-
look at both players' cards. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you should do this. It'll be cool. Trust me. And then they're like,
Yeah, that's worth it. That's absolutely worth it.
To let it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now is it control time?
Well, the interesting trick is, spoilery,
Yeah.
my hand is full of effects that allow me to flip cards of yours.
Oh. Okay. So obviously, in some cases, we don't want to do that.
In no cases that you currently have do I want to do that.
No, you don't want to flip even the 1 because it will become 2 value and be compilable.
And you will compile on your turn.
Right.
Right. So I don't want to flip your 1.
No.
And I don't want to flip either of those 2
No,
because then
God
you
knows what they can
get free effects.
Well, here, hold on.
You know what
Hang
they
on.
are,
Oh.
right? And then
Yeah.
okay, all right,
This is
okay. So I don't want to flip your cards.
It's a Satan's face.
Yeah. So the question is, do I want to take a refresh action to take use of my control and move things around?
Before you lose
swapping
it.
things around.
Right. But the problem is it wouldn't benefit me.
No, not yet.
Because what I would do if I were to refresh and take control, I'm getting too much of the weeds, but I'm going to do it anyway. If I were to use this offensively, I would spend this to flip these 2,
Yeah.
so that you're set up to recompile.
Right.
But this doesn't save me because you would still gain control of your turn, and so then when you compiled, you would have the option to set it back.
To switch it back because the compile happens at the very, very end.
Right.
Yep.
So because that, like, if that would save me, if I'm like, oh yeah, I'll set it up.
It's just a tug of war.
Right. But so unfortunately, instead, what I'll do is not change the numbers at all, but I will draw 2 cards, and my opponent will discard 2 cards.
No.
Yes.
Nah,
You'll
sorry,
discard 2
plus.
cards and then reveal your hand.
Now, if something says that I must discard, but I have no other cards.
Then
That's fine.
It's not a cost. It is an action that you do. It is an instruction that you follow after having played the card.
Gotcha. And return.
So if you want to keep a 5 in your hand and with no other cards, that's fine.
In fact, that's quick.
Like specifically if it's a speed 5 because it's very valuable, right?
Yeah.
So I need to discard 2.
You do need to discard 2. And then you reveal the remaining card in your hand to me. Fascinating.
Like gasp.
Anyway, it is now your turn, and again, as foretold, you steal control. You wrest control from me.
Okay. It feels good and it feels right.
Good.
Now, I'm going to go here.
Can I give you a tiny amount of advice?
Yeah, if you want to.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
And you will likely compile.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It is
'cause
great.
It'll be
He's
2 to
right.
0.
Yeah.
Christopher will get 3 turns in a row. Because he will take a
Oh,
turn,
'cause
you
I
will
have
compile.
because I have no
and then he'll
more
take a turn,
cards.
and then you'll refresh, and then he'll take a turn. And he is poised right now to score some points, and will probably be poised to continue scoring points,
True.
given that. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do. I'm saying it's the thing you need to consider.
So the right thing to do right now is actually refresh.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And you have control, so you would spend that control to do any sort of rearranging you want to do.
Yeah.
And he won't be taking it from you either.
Yeah, and I don't think that I will rearrange. I mean, I think that this is basically correct.
Okay.
Right. So I will use my turn to refresh.
I wasn't trying to like.
No. You gave me. It's good advice.
I want to give you. I just want you to have
No,
all of the
that's-
data.
This is how I lose this game: is these triple turns. So
Well, yeah, you get into you focus.
Exactly. So I'm gonna draw 1, and then I'm gonna shuffle the rest of these. Now,
Now we've gone to the deck twice already.
yes. Now, it won't take me very long. I mean, you can.
All right.
I'll just grab 3 more.
Yeah. It just might matter what you grab.
Yeah, he might make you discard cards, so it might matter.
Or something else.
I'll have them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, this will give me some rope.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I don't want you to get too attached to anything in that hand of yours. So rather than like reading those cards, making plans, coming up with future hopes and dreams, I'm just going to take a random one from your hand.
And did you get it?
Yeah, it's just mine now. I'm going to take a random card from your hand, but don't worry, I'll give you something back. So I will take this random card here, if that's all right.
No. Do I get to see it? Well, I guess
Well,
I,
You did before.
Yes. Yeah.
You good? Okay.
you can have math.
Cool. Ooh. And then I take a card from my hand and I give it back to you. Oh, you loved it for me to have this card. This is a great card for me to have. For the audience, I've taken his Fire 5. He's already compiled Fire. So me taking
It's
your
optimal.
Yeah, that's
You're going to give it back to me?
no. So it's a good question, but I think
Make sure you put your love
oh,
card
yeah.
back.
This is here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give it back.
I could.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably
I
will.
should say that if you were playing this game and you were not explaining every card and narrativizing it,
It's fast.
this is one of the
yeah.
fastest games now.
Right. This is usually a 20-ish minute game.
It all
but we
happens
are
on the cards.
Yeah.
So the card is telling you what to do.
We're at about 30, 35 minutes right now.
really no.
Yes.
Okay.
Of this game.
Oh, because we spent too
did a
much time
big one.
to rules and banter. Okay.
It
All right.
turns out we were being
That's
compelling
the
what
whole time.
for the cameras and audience and whatnot.
All right, so what do you got? What sounds good? What sounds right?
I hate to be boring. I hate to be boring.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Just take
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right. It's
Yeah.
the right
Now
play.
everything else in my hand is full of power. So anyway, it is your turn,
brag about
and
it.
you do not gain control because I did beat you here and here. So this stays centraled.
I am going to.
Oh man.
Force him to deal with that compile.
Yeah. Right.
Now's the time to force him to deal with that compile.
Or is it?
No, because he's going to gain control.
That's correct.
Yeah. But he is going to gain control. Dang it.
Hey, the fire! The very thing. The petard is back.
Hoisted, huh?
Yeah.
Petard, huh?
You'll love to see it. Fantastic.
Enjoy.
I'm going to.
No, it's at the end of my turn.
Yes,
I check for control at the beginning of my turn.
that's
Yeah.
correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I check for control and do not have it.
No.
So I will play this Love 4. I reveal one card from my hand. I want you to know about the Spirit 2 that you've seen before.
Yes.
It is in my hand.
Yeah.
I reveal one card from my hand, and then I flip one card. That Fire 5 becomes a blank 2,
I'll take it.
and it is your turn.
Lovely about that.
And no one gets control again.
All right. Now,
They like the control that happens.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
so we're gonna play something a little zesty.
That's a good one. Speed's got some
over
good
here.
stuff.
Now you'll note
Speed hasn't been getting a lot of love this game, and I'm very
so,
excited for
okay,
it.
Without
Speed
the,
hasn't been getting a lot of love, you say?
without the control token,
Right.
just shotgunning line after line
Right.
is the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not going to. I'm actually going to play Speed,
Yeah.
which has top text that stays even after I play another card.
That's right.
That says after you clear cash, which is if you check
Discarding.
for- yeah.
Because checking
Discard-
cash you do every turn, but you only clear when you have more than 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Draw one card. So if I have a big hand,
Yes.
I get to have more cards.
You get to have more cards. And then
Draw two.
right now draw 2. So this your resources were low, but now they are not.
Now they are refreshed.
And how many cards do you have in hand now? I think 4 or 5? 4. Okay, excellent. All right.
Would have been nice if it was 6, though.
Yes.
All right, so it's the start of my turn, and I do gain control.
Yes.
But I'm not going to move it.
Because he's going to use it.
No, you know what? I'm going to play risky.
Why not? Just go
No,
up.
I was right. My instinct was right. I'm not going to use it because I'm going to return it to its position and refresh. And after refreshing, I am going to do this.
Nice.
Technically before.
Correct. Technically,
Technically.
before refreshing, I swap the fire and the water protocols, putting me in the spot that I want to be.
So now you really want to get control back.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So that you
so
can-
that I can swap.
So this
these
is
back out.
this is one of the situations of like, oh, I had some cards in hand, but the game state was great for me. I am not only in control, but hard to kick out of control.
Exactly. So I'm going to go here,
Yeah. There you go.
right? I'm going to start building up water.
But
Now we've got.
You must return one of your cards, though.
Fear not.
Yeah, there we
I'm
go.
going to return this awesome card.
That's great. And so now you're beating me by 1 here, and you're beating me by 1 there, which doesn't matter yet, but it will at the start of your next turn unless I stop you.
Depending on how you play, yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
The drama.
Okay. All right. I am going to play this Spirit 4 here. It says swap the positions of 2 of your protocols,
Interesting.
and I am going to swap
Well, I'll do it
Spirit
when I see it.
and Psychic.
Okay.
And I must inform you
Yes.
that I do now have 12 points in this line.
Correct.
So on my next turn, if the game state does not notably change, I will be compiling my now Psychic line.
Correct.
Oh, no, this is great. How many points do you have in water there?
8.
8.
Yeah.
In water, not in fire.
In water, I have 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the time.
Sure seems like the time. He's going to get control back, though.
I am going to get control.
But I don't mind getting 2 lines.
Right.
Well-
no, getting 2 lines is very strong.
Right. He's going to get control back, then compile, and probably force you to recompile fire. But you will get one of his cards out of it.
Yeah, but if he swaps fire back here, that's actually... Well,
But that's going to be gone, too.
Is that he's going to compile.
Oh, this board's
is
going to be
get
real white. Uh-huh.
This is going to go over here. He's going to screw up this other one.
But what you're doing is blocking his love, which is at 7 right now.
Right.
And getting a card out of it, which is really good.
Right.
That is correct about my intentions.
Or are you within striking distance in speed? No, not really.
Speed's at 2.
Do you have speed 5 in hand? You could block him from getting control.
No.
That's a shame. That's a real shame.
Well, no, I could.
I hate that for you.
I could. But I'm saying there's another interesting play here, too, which is that, yes, you're beyond the compile threshold.
I am.
agree.
But not by much.
Only by 2.
That's true.
Oh, you could
Were
just
you
get
to
into the tug of war.
Were you to
Yeah.
flip this card face down?
Or possibly throw...
see.
Well, let's all just lead on
See,
this.
There's the thing.
Well, we got to get in here now.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what happens at PAX.
It is definitely
it's-
true. And then crowds just...
The beauty of the game is that only 2 people can play, but 20 people can watch.
Yeah.
More than that, hopefully, on the live stream.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Yes.
Delightful.
Okay. So now we have 7 over here. And something else to think about.
Yeah.
You discard a card.
Yeah, for sure.
And that means at the start of my turn, I do not gain control.
That's right.
Because he's defeated me here and here. So he's set up to gain control on his next turn. And crucially, when I'm about to compile, because I am about to compile, he's opted not to stop me.
Right.
So I do compile, but I have no option in it. Now that said, I don't mind compiling Psychic.
No, we love to compile.
Right. But so this does delete the entire line,
Right?
but it is my entire turn.
shot.
So that happens there, that happens there. Hooray, Psychic has gone. Go ahead and lean back just a little bit, Eric.
Just a
Psychic has gone from loading to compiled. And now we are tied up over here in the fire and psychic line, but it is your turn, and at the start of your turn, you gain control.
That's right. And I feel so free.
And you're at 8 and 7, which
Yes.
is really good.
Very good striking
Really strong.
distances. Yeah.
So what we like here, I think,
Oh, yeah.
is we over here where I have 7,
Yep.
we put a 3 value card in,
Yep.
I'll glance.
right? And it allows me to
Shift
shift
one of your
one other
other cards.
card.
Yep.
Well, in fact, it demands that I shift another card.
Yes.
Um,
So that does mean that you are going to be moving that 4 because it's another one
Yes,
other
exactly.
card. Okay.
Exactly right.
So, but you can shift it on top of the speed 3, or you can shift it to the fire realm.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are
What's that
options.
end effect on that speed?
You may shift one of your cards if you do flip this card. So, to my mind, grabbing this and putting it over here,
Seems
Yeah.
pretty good.
It locks it
this
down.
is like
It's
locked
It's
in.
extremely tight.
right. So
Yeah.
let's just try it.
Sure.
Let's just see what happens.
Boom. All right. That is your turn.
It is.
It is my turn, and you have control and are going to compile on your turn unless I do something amazingly drastic. Because you have so many points there.
It's big.
14 seems unstoppable. So I'm going to play. How many cards do you have in hand?
Just the one.
I don't think that's true anymore.
Really?
I'm going to play the Psychic 2.
Thank you.
Your opponent discards 2 cards.
I can't. I'll discard one.
You will discard 1 card.
Oh no, you mean
and then the next line of it says rearrange their protocols. So I'm going to put
you monster
this
of the highest caliber.
over here, like that.
Don't worry, you'll have a card soon.
But it doesn't matter. The thing that I did doesn't matter.
Really?
Yes,
Because you have control.
because you have control.
Because I have control.
So it's your turn. This.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you compile. Now, before you compile, control is spent, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
As a result of submitting control, do you want to rearrange my protocols?
Well, I could rearrange my protocol.
You could rearrange. Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to combine.
That's that
the
seems
world
good.
is your oyster.
particular
Would
situation.
you
I think
like
I'm gonna-
to do speed or water?
I think I'm going to do.
You think he's going to do speed?
This
Because
right.
look how much speed. Look how much speed power he has on the table right now.
Yeah.
That's all going to go to the trash.
Yeah.
So,
It's gotta
and you compile the whole line.
Here, and I was going to say, no, this is kind of chunky. We got to get that
Yeah.
broadband. We got to get that
Oh,
broadband.
nice.
popping.
That's fiber. That's
Right?
fiber.
Yeah, that's Ziply. You know what I mean? You don't know what that is. It's a brand up here.
TCP/IP. I got nothing.
Oh, web.
Some other
right, now.
internet.
Right, so we're Gucci
Those are all
gang.
deleted? Yep.
These are deleted.
Yep.
They go over here.
I believe you got some face down cards in there.
Fix it. Fix it. You did it. Thank you.
You got a lot of room to talk on
They don't know that. Chat doesn't know that.
Was your
I can
turn.
throw
Yes,
shade
now,
now.
sorry,
So
your turn.
here's the
Cindy.
problem
Yeah,
for you.
yeah,
Is it started my turn?
yeah. You gain control.
I gain control because I have more points in 2 lines. And how many cards do you have in your hand right now?
0.
Right. So your next
to
turn
refresh.
is refreshing.
Yeah, it's a classic-
So I
it's a
get 2
classic,
turns in a row.
yeah.
But you are up. You have compiled 2, and I've only compiled 1.
That's true.
I really was trying to over and over. I attempted to get you to
Do various
Hold on. What are you doing here?
Oh, sorry.
yet.
Is it not time to refresh?
No.
Oh, that's right. This game, it's actually important. How
It
these
is
things are.
very important because you were trying over. I was trying over and over to get you to take the top card of my deck and put it in your hand by recompiling a line, and you continually refused to do so.
Yes.
The worst.
Just the worst.
true.
So I am forced to do it myself.
Yeah, well.
Where I play this Love 1 card that says draw the top card of your opponent's deck. And so this is why I was offended at your actions.
Oh, yeah, it's wrong.
That
Yeah.
is mine.
The interactivity in this game is actually pretty unique.
Then it's the end of my turn, and I can give 1 card from my hand to my opponent. And if I do, I draw 2 cards.
Oh,
And I'm going to do this.
why not? Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I? Well, the reason I wouldn't is if I wanted to force you to refresh.
Yes.
But you know what I like more than you having a hand of 5 cards? Having a hand of 1 card of a line that you've already compiled.
Yeah.
And then I draw 2 cards, which is 1, and I shuffle up and draw 1 more. It is your turn.
Okay. So now I have to.
No, you have a card. You can choose to play it. You could still choose to take the refresh action, but you do have an option at least.
Oh, intriguing.
Yeah, he forced that. Like
Yeah.
a magician.
Yeah.
Well, Psychic's already done.
It's all done.
Love is
Probably doesn't matter.
Fixing there. I can't. I don't want to change a 1 to a 2
You could though.
by flipping it.
I would love that.
Oh, you know what though? I can flip one in it. I can flip.
Yeah.
I can flip here. Watch this. This is
Yeah.
Well, why don't
This-
you make an educated
the
decision?
master.
You can look at it. Let's sneak it.
Is it-
Is it great? Do you love it? Do you hate it?
It's. I'm going to show you. You're going to see.
Oh, we're gonna see it
now.
really soon.
So
We love that.
this fire is 0.
Yeah.
Fire is already compiled. Why would I play it over here?
Well, because you must. That's the one place you're allowed to play it.
yes, but there's also another reason.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip one other card.
Uh-huh.
How about this card?
Oh.
Nice.
Now you discard it. You must discard a card right now. Got to do it.
But you don't have it. That's beautiful.
it's true.
And then the next line resolves.
Draw 2 cards.
Yep.
So I'm back in it, baby.
You're
Without
back in.
even having to take a refresh action.
No, without even having to get a refresh action. That's the craziest thing about this.
Yeah. And when that card is covered, you get to do more cool stuff.
Yeah.
So you've got power on the
And
field.
you have incentive to continue playing fire.
Yeah.
Which is important.
All right. Things are good.
Good game, good. Basically,
That's what I like to hear.
I appreciate that.
That's what I like to
game
hear.
good.
We like it.
I've heard good things. I am going to. This is so silly. I'm going to play this Spirit 2 and flip that Fire 5 back down again.
No.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame
But you drew 2 cards off of it, so like
Very good.
No, it's incredible.
That has an end effect.
Oh, and I do have my end effect. I can give a card from my hand to my opponent. If I do, I draw 2 cards. Ooh, that's actually very tempting.
Now,
I mean, I would
if
give
you
him-
give
I would
me a
give him
card
this
that
one.
is on one of your
This one?
protocols,
I mean,
if you give me a card that's on one of your protocols,
it was a joke.
do I play it in the line that's
Correct. So
Yes.
if I were to give you, for instance, this Psychic card, you would play it there.
in the fire? Yeah. Which is for me already compiled, and so maybe. Yeah, but psychic cards have crazy powers. Is
Right,
it-
but if
have
it's
crazy
like a
powers.
5 or something and
Yeah.
it's already compiled
The
for
trick
him.
is, if I give you a card from my hand, which hurts me and helps you, I draw 2 cards, which helps me a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna do it. I'm too
I'm
weak-willed.
gonna do it.
God, there is a tool.
Thank you. Movie's good. Probably. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if it might be problematic.
Fantastic.
I haven't seen that movie in
Don't
15
care.
years.
Still fantastic.
Yeah, Jess Gravy, you are on some other level here, dude.
Maybe amazing.
Listen, now when I know that. Well, I don't want to say anything. I
Untrue.
No, I feel
I said
like
that's untrue.
I feel like my mind. So I've played this game a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like my mind has been terraformed by some of these systems now.
This is one of the things that we experience a lot at shows. Is
I can't.
people
yeah,
will play
man,
it
I gotta
and then
just take a second here.
they show up half an hour later and they go, can I play again?
God, well,
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
me do it. You've seen me
I've
do
seen
it here.
you do
So
it.
what are you thinking, Chris?
I think you got to play a card.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Please, I want to play.
You could refresh.
Here. No,
No.
I could. I could.
Incorrect.
The rules of the
I
game
can't.
allow you to do so.
I'm gonna show you something psychotic.
I love
love
that.
Something pyromaniacal.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there we go. Now, before that happens,
Yeah.
did the card you just placed it on top of say anything?
Yes.
Did it say at the bottom, perhaps?
Yeah. It says first draw one card. When this card would be covered, draw one card and flip one other card.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna draw this card,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm gonna flip this card.
Yes. Now, that says you need to discard a card, which you do, but I feel like you find that to be a worthwhile cost.
Oh yes, absolutely.
So you discard a card,
Exactly. But this is where it gets crazy.
and then you continue doing the Fire 1 text.
Yeah. Right.
So first discard 1 for your Fire 5 that you just flipped.
Yes. So we're gonna get rid of this,
Great. And then Fire 1 says discard 1 card.
which I will.
And then, if you do, delete 1 card. Amazing. So you're deleting the Fire 1.
Deleting the card and revealing card text.
So now it says flip 1 other card. You can flip
Any.
this card,
Yeah.
this card, this card, or this card.
Right.
And then you got 2 cards.
Yeah. We're gonna go with the sprint.
You don't want to go with the love 1?
I don't want. I never want you to flip that over again.
All right. So this flips, and you draw 2 cards. So you continue having resources. Now you got to shuffle up and draw. That's fine.
I think that's 4. I think we got through the deck 4 times.
Yeah.
All right.
Fire.
Yeah, that was delightful.
This game is bonkers. I am just like running right out in front of the truck.
Michael said, "I'm learning so much in this game."
I'm going to play the spirit.
You should be.
He like a lot of people that have designed very good games, is like, I mean, I guess it's pretty
They
good.
don't see it all.
Right, they can't see it all. They're too close.
All right, I've played the Spirit 1. It says that I can play cards in any line, which is pretty handy. I don't have to worry about, like, I can play Spirit cards in the Love line, or Psychic cards in the Spirit line, or whatever.
That's potent.
Additionally, it lets me draw 2 cards. However, at the start of my next turn, I'll either have to pay for this card or flip it over. We'll see which one I do at the time. But I draw 2 cards, and it is your turn.
Marvelous. I'm going to play. Discard 1 card.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's back.
It's back.
It's back, baby.
If I do, delete this card.
Sure, go ahead. And now you flip one other card. Would you like to flip one of my cards or your Fire 5?
Yeah, well, one of your cards.
Okay, would you like to flip this 2, this 1, or this 1?
So this
This is a wildly dangerous card.
This is the one that lets me
it
play.
has to go.
It has to go.
It has to go.
All right.
Yeah.
It simply must.
Okay.
For the 1 extra point, my man.
Now I draw 2 more cards.
And you draw 2 more cards. That's exactly correct. So how many cards do you have in hand now?
2.
Interesting, because this card that I have in hand says that I draw 2 cards and that you discard 2 cards.
I don't want to.
And then you reveal your hand.
Oh, I don't have any. So basically, my whole card.
What
my
happened?
I have no more cards.
I've discarded 2 cards of yours from hand.
Okay.
And then you reveal your hand. Excellent.
But wait, when you say reveal your hand, you mean like reveal my literal hand?
Yes, well, in this case, yes. Let's see. All right, I'm satisfied.
All right, now.
It is your turn. Would you like to take the refresh action?
I have to.
You've been riding the lightning for so long on not refreshing. It's very impressive.
Okay.
But now you have 5 cards in hand. Doesn't that feel nice?
I mean, it's been a while.
All right. Okay. Very cool. Anyway, now that you have 5 cards in hand,
Anyway.
remember that thing from the very beginning of the game where I worry that you don't have enough resources?
Yeah.
I continue to worry.
It's been an issue.
I want you to draw 2 more cards.
No problem. Whoa. Can do. Thanks, man.
And it is your turn. I must inform you.
Yes.
I do have 14 points in the love line currently.
And a
That
flipping
does
can
mean
fix
that
it.
I will
Compile.
be compiling on my next turn. I do have control currently, and I do have 4 cards in hand. That is the game state for you to know.
All right.
All right. Okay. It's deathly quiet. Everybody's like, but what are you going to
He's still beating me. He's got 2 compiled. I only have
Yep,
1
yep, yep.
compiled.
Now my card is, my hand is so fat.
With a PH.
Too many choices,
Yeah.
even.
So if he had a 5
Yeah.
and he put it in the speed, would
Yeah.
he take? Oh, he would not take control because
Because of what I got here.
you got
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have to
Two on
somehow get many points in multiple
Multiple
lines
lines.
to wrest control from me before it was too
Yeah.
late.
Right.
I mean, he is playing a set of protocols that may be able to do that.
So Dom
Palombi.
Palombi Music says, is the goal to compile your lines before your opponent does? Yes, whoever compiles all 3 lines wins. So he's compiled fire and speed. I've compiled psychic, but not these two. He has not compiled this one. But just because he's compiled this one doesn't mean we're not fighting over this line still. I still must compile this line. So
Speed 3.
you're going to shift one of your other cards.
Correct.
Yeah, save that strong 5. You don't want to lose your best resource.
No.
That's smooth.
Hey, you just covered up when this card would be covered.
Is that true?
Text.
Is that? Yeah, it's true. So first you draw one card and flip one other card.
I'm going to draw one card.
And you flip one other card of your choice.
Love.
All right.
It's not enough to save it.
It's not.
But it does feel good.
It does.
Well, you're right. It's not enough to save it because it's still 7. I shouldn't do it.
No. Do you want
Does
to?
flipping
that-
your middle card
Yeah,
do
what's that
anything?
face down card?
You
Might
can-
be cool.
Does something happen?
You can look at it. And you don't have to flip it. You're allowed to know what it is before you flip it.
Yeah. But I'm saying discard one card.
So the thing that you're doing right now
is the cover.
right. And so you can flip this card, this card, this card, that card, or that card.
Right. Well, this is a fun one.
Okay.
I can discard because I have too many cards. As
Yeah.
Right. So you can
You don't want to read
discard
all
one
those
card,
cards.
and if you do return one card, you could put this card back in my hand, and I would not compile.
Oh.
Say that again. What?
It says return one card.
Oh,
you could put this card.
Oh, you can do that to your opponent.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to put that back.
It doesn't say return one of your cards.
Yeah, you have to put that back in your hand.
So I take this love 6 back into my hand.
Oh no.
It is my turn.
Well,
Well,
that's
first,
text triggers.
Yes, I do draw the top card of my opponent's deck. That is mine now. Thank you. And this doesn't happen until my turn. It is now my turn. I don't compile. I could have sworn I was ready to compile.
you were
You
so
were
close.
this close.
Something changed.
Something in the water.
Something sinister.
Dom, we're going to play another game after this, so you'll see.
Probably.
I mean,
Depends on how much longer this game
it's
takes.
not a lot, so.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Well, it's a very narrative.
Yeah. Anyway, so same as the first. You're going to draw 2 cards. I like it when you have cards in hand. Hold on. At the end of your last turn, did you have more than 5? Yeah, you got to discard
like
down.
infinity.
You got to
1,
discard
2,
down.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so just one
Just
card.
one.
Yeah.
Just one.
Hey, just fun.
That's got to stay. That's got to stay. That's got to stay.
And then you should have 5 cards in hand. Draw 2 more, so you have 7.
Got him.
I must inform you, I do have 14 points in the love line. I am fixing to compile,
You have to compile. Yeah.
but it is your turn.
Yeah. I love the feeling. Jeez. Okay.
Sorry, chat's being funny.
Oh yeah, that's they're great at it.
They are impressive.
All right.
All right.
No.
No,
It's wrong.
I was excited.
Bad. No, it's
incorrect.
wrong and bad.
I was excited.
No. Oh boy.
Boy,
All right.
beans. You need 2 points in speed to take control with him. He's going to get that point, but
I don't want to play any of these cards.
Oh, you could choose. No, you must either play a card, refresh, or compile, and you can't refresh with more than 5 cards in
No,
hand.
I have too many.
Yeah. So you must play a card.
Okay.
But you could play a card face down somewhere for the power, for the potential.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go right here.
Oh. Excellent. So that gives you later power. And end, do you want to do that now?
No.
Okay. It is my turn.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I do in fact compile. But I do have control. So before I compile, I may do some rearranging of protocols.
Yes. Why don't you take this one that I haven't compiled yet and put it over here
Oh.
where I have
it would be very nice. If
That's a really good idea. I
you are
I'm
playing
gonna
love.
pick this-
You've
yeah.
been playing love.
I'm going to pick this up,
Yeah.
and I'm going to put it here.
Nice.
That was what you indicated? I
Yes,
believe?
thank you.
Okay, excellent. This line is cleared out. And that is my whole turn. It is your turn.
Love it.
Simply
You
brutal.
do not gain control, but only by a sliver. You almost have it.
Right. So I'm going to.
Great. Yeah, excellent. You play a speed 0 card. It says play 1 card. It gives him no power, but allows him to play a card, and it sets up a brutal combo for later. Now tell me how you're playing that water 5 in the fire line.
I just felt like it. Is that-
Okay,
is that right?
interesting. You can play it face down in the fire line.
I could. Well, why don't I play it here?
Why don't you play it in your... Wait, you can't play it in your water line?
You could play it in the water line, but it wouldn't give him the thing you wanted.
Oh.
Now you could play it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to take this card and put it here.
Okay. That seems great.
Now, and
Oh, so
I
you
may
gain
shift
control.
Yeah.
one of my cards.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. And if you do flip this card, but
Yeah.
I think you're thinking it.
It's going to go right over here.
And if you do that, you don't have to flip that card because that text is covered up.
Exactly.
So you shift onto there. Now,
you get to play.
I must inform you,
Yeah.
and for gentlemanly combat purposes, if you shift it onto there, you're set up to compile. I don't know if you want that.
I don't want to compile over here.
Okay. All right. The gaining of control.
so
Okay.
this
So
is-
now you're playing with
this is
card.
revealed?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
No, he's got it.
Yeah. Discard one card.
switched with the and that compile into that.
Yeah.
What he wants to do right now is
Oh, it's
have
great.
control and be fixed to compile.
Right. Okay. So now you are going to compile here on your next turn.
I hope so. And control is heavy.
Yeah. You do not have control currently.
No, because the check happens at the beginning of my turn.
you
I'm
will
saying
have-
that I have
The
presence.
likelihood that you'll have control, because I have 2 here against your 8. I have 2 against your 0. So I'm winning here, great. But I have 2 against your 12.
Yeah.
So the likelihood for me to get control is incredibly low.
maybe.
But you do have tricksy protocols.
The important thing that I don't have is I don't have a card in hand that lets me rearrange your protocols right now.
Right. And you do have that in
I
your
do
set.
have that in my set, but I don't have it in my hand.
Right. It essentially gives you the control token,
Right.
but during your turn
Yes. So I don't have the ability to stop you in that way.
this time.
Yes. I do have some other ways of potentially stopping you.
Well, I can't wait.
Right. So,
Let's take a look.
yeah, I am going to play this Psychic 3, and you discard 1 card. It says your opponent discards 1 card,
Oh, sure.
and then it says another line after that. So you discard 1 card, and then it says shift 1 of their cards. So I am going to put the water 5, and I think I must. See, here's the trick. I'd love to put it here, but if I do, you will gain control and then compile,
Yeah.
winning the game. So I must put it in a non-compiling position.
Yeah, because when I gain compile, or when I gain control, I can alter where the protocols
Correct.
are
That's correct.
before
Immediately
compile.
prior to compiling.
And so that
Is
would
bad.
lose me the game.
You would.
So I must put it in a non-compiling position, so I have to put it here. But when I do so, 2 things happen. 1, that happens.
Yes. Shift one of your opponent's face down cards.
So you can put this here, you can put that there, you can put that there, you can put that there. Those are all your options.
Right. I don't want to put it over here.
Yeah.
Actually, there, you can't gain control.
I cannot gain control, and in fact, you can't not gain control. You will be
Yes,
gaining control in this
it's
round.
gonna- it's
You
gonna
won't be compiling. I've forestalled the compiling, but I've given you control, I haven't given you anything. You've
Yeah.
taken control. You've earned control.
Yeah, shifting out of that spirit line is very interesting just because that's the thing he still needs. So robbing him of 2 points there is good.
Okay.
But where to put it is
okay,
the question.
So it's my turn?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
no, it's
you
this
must
action.
do this thing.
Oh.
You shift one of my
Shift
face down
one of
cards.
my-
So you can put this here, you can put that there, or you can put either one of these here.
Okay.
But you must do one of them.
Here. So let's put this here.
I love it. So that has happened. It is now the end of my turn. It is the start of your turn. You're beating me here. You're beating me here. You're beating me here. You gain control like you would not believe. And it is your turn. You have 1 card in hand.
Right.
Even if you cannot manage to use that card to compile, you at least upon he might have it.
There's only one place it can go.
Then you can go face down anywhere. Because
yeah, but-
remember, face down here gets you 10.
Oh, you're right. No, we should. I have to do it. Right?
Because
Yeah.
the trick is, there's a chance that I can stop you. There's also a chance I can't stop you.
Exactly.
You have control and you have 10 points.
Exactly.
This is
So
the move.
I have control. This is going over here.
No.
Not yet.
Well, at the start of your turn,
Yeah.
during compile.
Your turn was playing a card. Your next turn will be compiling.
Oh, right.
So I have a chance to stop you.
Yeah, that's it.
I have four cards in hand. You have no cards in hand. So if I stop you, it gives me a good momentum swing. Probably not enough. We'll see. Okay, so here we go. I can't, just to lay it all out.
Yeah.
I have your water 4. So I can play this here and return one of my cards. This does me no good because I can play this here, return this card, and do this effect.
Yeah.
If that
Your
rearranges,
opponent discards 2 cards, which I don't have.
and I draw 2 cards and it reveals your hand, that doesn't help me at all. So this card does not save me. I believe you've got me.
I hope so.
Spirit 4, I can swap the position of 2 of my protocols.
Your protocols.
Doesn't do me any good. Spirit 3 is just some points that after I draw cards, I can shift this card around.
Oh, okay. Which is cool.
And I have
I mean, it's a cool.
Psychic 5. I discard a card. I will discard the Spirit 3. It is your turn. We are tied.
Ooh.
So
You
don't-
still have control,
Right.
but you cannot compile and you cannot play cards, so you must refresh spending control.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
But you will then have a resource of 5 cards in hand, and I have 2 in hand.
Right. So the only question is,
Yeah.
what do I do with the control?
You must spend it.
Yes, exactly.
So you will be losing control. The question is, what do you rearrange?
This is what I'm saying.
And then you draw 5. And you draw 5 after rearranging, so you don't get to know what your new hand of 5 is for this loadout.
True.
This is very close. It was incredibly close.
But the game is always close.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are looking at all of this. Now, I can change yours as well.
Yes.
Yours-
But
or
there's no
instead.
reason.
Yeah, it doesn't help you.
Yeah, there's no reason to do that.
And I'm not compiling on my turn because I am in the same position you are. We're both at 10 points in this line.
You could get your water already over there where you're fixing to compile, but you're going to be in a tug of war there.
There's no reason to do it.
Right.
You're going to
regain
get compile next turn.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to get control next turn.
You'll
get
regain
it
control
back.
because I cannot stop you from
So
getting control.
I think I
Let
leave
it
it?
fizzle.
I think I refresh this turn,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And then I work with the board as it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Sounds great.
Because
Yep.
control is still mine.
You're on. Yes.
There-
Yeah,
there-
effectively.
almost
Not
certainly.
yet, but it
Yeah.
will be unless
Yeah.
there's no card in hand that I have that's like, oh, this is a 7 that plays the top 3 cards in my deck face down here.
Yeah.
Like,
Slapjack. All right. Well, here, let me get some cards.
yeah.
Crimson, it won't compile because they're tied, and it's
Yes.
going to take them
Somebody
another
has to have more.
another
It
turn.
has to be 10 or more, and it has to be more than the opponent.
Do you remember the cards that I showed you from my hand?
Yeah.
Cool. So you have finished your turn.
Yes.
It is my turn. I do not gain control.
Right.
I do not compile, even though I have 10 points because we're tied over here.
Right.
I play Spirit 4 here.
Yeah.
I swap the position of 2 of my protocols,
Right.
and I beat you in this line. And I match you in this line.
So no control.
It is your turn. You do not gain control, nor will I on my next turn.
Gotcha.
Because I'm winning here, you're winning here, and no one's winning here.
But you have so many more resources.
Yeah, I have 1 card in hand.
No, it's true. So let's.
Sometimes it's wildly intense.
Well, this is the thing is, so can I,
Yes.
you've won the game.
Yeah.
Because if you play anything at all face down there,
Right.
you bring it to 12.
Right.
On my turn, the only thing I can do to stop you is play a card face down here.
Right.
Then you do it again and again and again, and I have 1 card in hand.
Yeah.
So I can't, like,
Yeah.
I cannot stop you.
Unless you're real interested in styling on him.
I mean, like,
Okay, he's doing it.
this is discard 1 card,
Uh-huh. There we go.
right?
He's
Just
styling.
to lock it in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it's great.
Right.
Yeah,
To lock
yeah,
it in.
yeah,
We don't need the play 1
Yep.
face down card anymore.
Right.
This will delete. I've discarded a card. I'm going to delete the 5.
Yeah,
Delete
yeah,
my
yeah.
5. Now, upon deleting my 5, my 3 goes off. You discard 1 card,
Easy.
and I shift 1 of your cards.
But it has to be at the end, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shift 1 of your available cards.
Yeah.
So you discard a card,
But he doesn't have another Psychic 5 because there's only one in the game.
right, and it's here.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
I'm sunk, S-U-N-K, sunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then that was your turn.
Yes.
It is my turn. I have 1 card in hand. I can play it down here for 7. You compile. I can. Oh no, sorry. You discard 1 card. I shift 1 of your cards. I'll shift your fire 1.
1.
Uh,
Leaving 8 here. Leaving
Yeah.
10.
10 here.
yeah. So I'll
Against
put
this
it
5.
in speed, just to make your points lower. But the problem is now, unless this card, we know it's not the psychic 5,
Right.
which would get me to 10, and I know it's not the fire 5, even though I've stolen other cards of yours because it's there.
Yeah.
So I can either play it face down here for 7, you win the game, or face up here for 4, returning 1 of my cards. This goes back in my hand. Draw 2 cards. Great, I draw 2 cards. Your opponent discards 2 cards.
Deal.
But oh, it did save me. It's your turn.
Did it really?
Yeah.
You gain control.
Oh no, he does it. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, you're
No,
fine.
it didn't save me.
because you
Yeah.
because you gain control. You're fine. Yep.
You gain control
Fantastic.
because it is.
Yes.
Yep.
Right. So
Basically-
you're compiling here,
Yes.
and before you compile,
Yep.
Nice.
So
very
close.
well done.
Very cool.
Very,
Excellent.
very good game.
Excellent.
Okay, so but understand, that is not how long this game takes.
No.
And in fact, we're going to show you how long the
Yeah,
game
we're gonna do
actually
a-
takes to play.
You guys got one more in
Yeah,
you?
Yep. Is that cool, Josh?
Yep, let's do a real quick
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that like that's,
we're gonna-
that's
we're
one
gonna-
of the things that's
so-
cool about the game.
The problem is that the game that you just watched was involving the two most bloviating people in this room, playing while also explaining the rules of the game and also talking about all sorts of nonsense. Now we're going to see a much tighter game between people known for their taciturnness, Eric Benson, and the very quiet, the unassuming,
the demure.
yes.
God, don't start
Dainty
with
even.
that
Oh, Paul's playing?
nonsense on this channel.
I'm fine with that.
It will not penetrate
it's you.
these
Oh,
no, I was going to
walls.
say you.
You know, it's definitely you.
Making jokes.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Did you-
so,
do you know this is a
so now
comedy?
you can see the important ritual that happens at the end of every game of compiled,
Not Matt's games.
which is where
I put them away. I just don't put them away
you-
nicely.
bring all of your protocols back together and get your draft ready to go.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
now you can.
And then
so
Matt and
now
Eric
it's
play
choo-
a
so now
super
it's-
speedy game.
Now it's choose your character.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna need those chairs, I think.
Oh no, they're all yours.
All right. The control
We could stand.
returns and
All right, let's do it.
We're back. There was a microphone issue. Apparently, the microphone was in my belly button.
is that not helpful?
No, not for microphones.
I speak from the belly, they say.
yeah. They're down here. It's from the gut.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Here now. So let's talk about what were your protocols selected, and let's see what you got.
Yeah. So I'm playing Life, which is about planting seeds and growing them. Plague, which is about destroying your hand. And Darkness, which is about manipulating face-down cards.
I love hate and metal.
Yeah. So
Love, hate, and metal?
Love you've seen. Hate is
Yeah.
Love it.
yeah.
Kind of like the world right now.
Love we've seen.
No allegory.
Hate is a lot like fire, but more destructive, right? It's the self-destructive, but also maybe more destructive instead of self-destruct and get something.
Oh, yeah, this is crazy.
And then metal is about protecting and scoring that line. So manipulating
solid.
control
Focus.
is going to be really important for you.
Hate is nuts.
Yeah.
But just by looking at this one card.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off as the first drafter playing Plague 1, which is the bread and butter plague card. I'm going to make you discard some cards, and then I'm going to get benefits from that.
Okay.
You're going to want to probably get rid of this pretty quickly. You discard a card, and whenever you discard a card, I draw. Discard cards, any number of cards.
So if
I
he
draw
plays a card that says you discard 4 cards, he
4
draws
million
one
cards.
card.
I draw
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. And then we see it's at value 1, but it's got that top
I
text.
discard one.
You discard one.
very good.
I draw one from this card.
The
It is
zero
your
ones and
turn.
twos are so good, and this is part of like the start of the game. You like rocketed up in power.
we were
very quickly,
chatting
and I was like, no, I'm just
while
gonna
we
put out
were,
my low power numbers.
While we were off stream. Oh no. Delete.
Your highest value card and delete your opponent's highest value card.
That's-
Well,
that's not the
actually,
right time
you
to
don't want to play that
my
right
friend.
now. Because it
What will it do?
will just
Remember, computers.
read it in order. Delete your highest value card. What's your highest value card? That card.
Yeah.
So
But then
delete
there will be
itself.
no other text. Because that
I
card
see,
will have gone
okay.
away.
Oh, you run it like a program.
Yeah.
So it's a go-to 10.
For interesting reasons. You do run it like a program.
It's almost as though the guy that made it is a computer programmer.
We get annihilated just by playing it. Oh, God.
I see that card.
This man. All right, what do we got?
Okay. My value is reduced by 2 in this line, and you get to flip a card. I assume you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of that.
That makes the most sense. Okay. I hate that for both of us. So I'm going to flip one card. I'm going to flip that one. And then I'm going to flip this one. You're going to
Hey.
discard a card. And
it's
I'm going to
revealed.
draw a card
Yeah.
because I revealed the text.
Plague is not good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's mean.
mean.
It's not particularly good at scoring. It's really good at controlling.
Oh, yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a mean.
It's a bully protocol.
Yeah.
It's mean. Aggressive. He
It's not
he-
winning, but it's good at making your opponent lose.
When he picked hate, I went, oh, okay, well, I have to play the same kind of aggressive.
Yeah, because hate is very good at deleting.
I am going to.
Refresh? Yeah.
Just get some cards.
You know that EJB, he's refreshing.
Yeah. This is what they say.
Yeah. That's what people say.
I'm going to play this Darkness 3. Play one card face down on another line. I'm going to play it here to lock that Plogway card in.
Love it.
I'm going to play Love.
I
draw two cards.
Oh, wow.
So nice of you. I love this.
like that.
This is great for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
return this
That's a
card away.
lot of
That was,
cards.
Whoa.
that was the
Don't
turning point of
like
the final
that.
phase there. That was good.
I'm going to play Plague 2. Just going to read it to you because this is a pretty easy one. You've seen it. It's like the fire card. Discard one or more cards. Your opponent discards that amount plus 1. So I'm going to ditch. How many cards do you have in hand?
4.
I'm going to be really aggressive. Please discard 4 cards.
Wow.
What a demon.
And then I'm going to draw 1 from that. It is your turn. What would you like to do with your turn?
Well, I guess it's refresh.
Oh, because you draw whenever.
Yeah.
Oh, you monster.
Yeah.
This is satanic.
But
Sometimes.
it's my turn. Do I get control right now?
No. It was your turn. And you
Your
did.
one, yeah.
Sorry. I do apologize. You did get control. You refreshed. Now it is my turn.
Does the control get spent?
When he refreshed?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It does.
You'll get it back. Would you like to rearrange some of these protocols? Thank you.
No.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
I don't
Get Josh out of here.
You have to.
probably not right now.
Not right now, right? Okay.
Like, depending on what's in your hand, but you wouldn't know that
It's
yet.
too exciting.
yeah,
technically.
yeah, at this point.
Right.
I gotta stand.
You gotta stand. This one time I was at a convention and there was this 10-year-old who came and played every day. He's like, I'm gonna beat you. And I was like, after the first game, I was like, I'm not gonna go easy on you.
Yeah,
He went,
exactly.
"Okay."
You can't.
I played him like 6 times throughout the convention. Anytime I was like, if I had, because I was alone, I was like, if I have a table, just you gotta wait. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And him and his dad would come by and he'd just wait and wait and wait. And the like hour before setup, he finally got me and he was like, yes. And the dad was like, thank you so much. I was like, are you kidding me? This was the best, this was the highlight of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's just it. It's like
I've got a fan for life.
They need challenge. Like they need to know that they develop skills.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Back to your turn.
on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Wonderful. I'm going to
my
play
Mother is
the top
not
card of my deck.
a game player.
face down in each line
but
where I
she is
have
a
a
very
card.
smart,
Like I
logical
said,
person
just
who
like
can
that water
read
card.
words and understand what they mean.
Except
and whenever
when this gets
we
covered,
put out a new game, she's like, I want to
it
play
goes
the
away.
game with you.
Closes it
And it's
infinitely.
like, why do we do this thing? It's not for us.
I'm not
So
at
this
any
game, I
risk
taught
here
her
of
this game this
compiling.
summer.
I'm at
And
9
we
here, so I'm
played
getting
one
close,
game of
but
it.
I'm
And in that
burning
one
through
game,
my
she
resources
beat
pretty
me.
hard.
We weren't playing with control, but even still, she beat me because she read the cards and went, hey, if I do this, that means that, right? I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't have to be like a game playing genius. You
I'm-
just have to read cards and plan ahead.
It's one of the most legible
Not
games.
beating you
are.
here. I am beating
tried.
you here. I am beating you here. I'm going to gain control. I'm going to refresh, spending control, and swapping these two. And just doing a quick little refresh.
Interesting.
Just do a little quick refresher.
little preemptive.
Yeah, a little
swap.
Just getting it ready. He's just spreading out his
Yeah,
resources.
see, but he doesn't want a situation where he's in that compile, refresh
death loop.
cycle.
We just had an hour and a half of learning how powerful control is.
yeah.
If I place this card down and cover this up,
Yeah.
and if we have equal numbers, like if I'm gonna just show this is a 1, I'm gonna place that down. Delete the lowest value covered card in the line.
In this line, it would be this one because it's a covered card,
That's the lowest value covered card.
card, okay.
It says covered
Well,
card.
which is great because that's the one you want
That's
to
the
get rid
worst
of.
card there.
But let's say I guess that wouldn't.
If there's a
If
tie,
it's a tie, you
If it's a tie,
decide.
you
the
decide.
person who owns the effect, the card that the effect is on, chooses how it resolves.
Okay, so I have to discard 3 cards.
And you want, I assume,
Get rid of that thing, dude.
Then
that thing that's been paying dividends. Well,
I have to delete 2 cards now.
delete the lowest value card. Okay, it was that, and
now
then
I delete 2
I see.
other cards.
So
I can only delete the flipped ones, right? Because
yeah, these because they're uncovered. So this one is going to allow me to flip some cards,
Okay.
and it's going to interrupt, but still probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that one because it's mean.
Yeah. That
So-
one and that one.
So
Oh,
you
Two triggers.
Actually, can I delete?
Your own cards.
So it's delete one card, period. We resolve that, and whatever tack-on effects happen.
We'll delete that one first.
So we'll delete this.
Yep.
This interrupts. It says flip one card, flip one card.
Sure.
So I'm going to flip this card.
So your effect is over.
So now your effect is over.
fine.
And then I'm going to look at these cards because maybe I want to do a silly thing.
Almost certainly.
Wonderful. I'm going to use my second effect to flip this, which shifts one face down card, which I'm going to put here, which means I get to discard one or more cards. You don't have any cards in hand, do you? Okay, well, that's cool. I did that in a very dumb way. Anyway, just please discard 2 cards. Oh, it's your turn.
Go get some cards. And
Get some cards.
Obtain cards.
Obtain any amount of card.
Your turn. Actually, I get, well, the refresh would have been, the control would have been spent on a refresh. Actually, I don't have it right now. No, I do.
You would have.
Yeah, but I would have spent it anyway.
Wonderful. What would you like to have reached?
his or yours?
Yeah, either one. Again, we're early enough. We don't have any points, so
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I really want to read.
I love that for both of us. My turn. You refreshed. Life 4 here. If this card is covering card, draw one card.
Okay.
It is your turn. You
not gain
do not
control.
gain control this time.
So zesty.
I love watching this game. I'm really.
So zest.
We're gonna run a tournament at Unplugged.
Yeah, I was just going to
Fingers-
say.
fingers-
Double limb
crossed.
tournament.
I know that's been your
Draw the
fantasy.
top card of
Yep.
your opponent's deck.
It is draw. Keyword draw reshuffles the deck.
I'm just really excited to
trash.
see that meta game evolve.
What comes out strong?
That is yours.
Okay. So at the end, it says, I may give one card to you, and if I do, I draw 2 cards. I don't want to do that because I'm at max hand.
But that's every end turn.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't.
Choice.
Yeah.
You do not gain.
I do not gain control. I love that. No, I do. Right?
You do, yeah.
Yeah. I gain control.
Plague and life.
Oh, because of life. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
9's a big threshold for plague.
Okay. We're going to do a weird one. This is our first each, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plague 3. Flip each other face-up card. So I'm going to flip that. I'm going to
is-
flip this.
Yep.
And I'm going to flip this. You'll see.
Yep.
You'll see why.
What is this?
Well, also that's what it says, and also you now have 10 or more points in the plague line,
It is your turn.
and he has control and is threatening to compile.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. So I'm at 12. You could potentially stop me here or try to fire somewhere else.
I have nothing that I can do that could really stop you at that point.
Then usually the answer is go harder somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good news is you know what he's doing his next turn, and he can't stop anything you do. So if you had, for instance, a hate 5, you would be able to compile right in a row after
Yeah,
him.
we have drafted 0 types of control here.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
There we go.
So you must discard a card for having played hate 5, but he will.
The cookies.
Yeah.
The cookies have happened.
So you have to compile.
So I have to compile. I get to
do have
decide what you. I'm gonna want to play more plague cards, right? So I'm gonna de-spending this, swap these around because I'm gonna want those cards.
Oh, okay. So you get to compile life.
I'm gonna compile
Yeah.
life instead because
That's
I like life, but
That's-
plague has been paying dividends. So
Yeah.
these cards get deleted. These cards get deleted. You died, and then I score 1 point.
Amazing. Okay.
Well, now you compile.
And that was your turn.
Compile. Right.
You do not gain control, but you do compile.
Okay.
So these cards go away, those cards go away, and you score that point.
All right, so it's tied up.
Unfortunately, my turn, and the thing that I wanted to do
Yeah, it's gone.
is gone forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the game state's pretty tied up, and I think in the hand state is also pretty tied up.
Yeah.
This is a very good, like, all right, we're 1/3 of the way through the game.
Yeah.
Discard a card. Yeah, because we're not playing control. So you both played a lot of like
Yeah. Oh,
manipulation.
We were chasing control constantly, and it's
Yeah.
what
We needed
made
it.
the game. Yeah.
and we're playing aggro,
Yeah,
aggro.
you're playing violence.
Aggro crap.
So can I play this here?
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
you
Can you?
In fact, that's the only place you
That's
can
the only
play
place you
face-up.
can. If I discard a card,
you got his nasty.
he got my nasty
And then
boy.
you draw a card.
And you draw a card.
That's hilariously funny.
That's evil, is what it is.
Yes.
I hate that about you.
You mean after all the times you made me discard my entire hand, you're upset about one discarded
No,
card?
I
No,
mean
because it's
evil
yours
like
forever.
a
Oh, I know.
wicked vizier.
Oh, I know.
I have no way to.
I mean this is in a positive way.
Yeah, I'm delighted by it.
All right. I'm going to wait till you draw, then I'm going to refresh, and you're going to get another turn. Hopefully you don't have anything more things to make me discard cards.
Okay.
The loudest cough drops.
I know.
Okay. You draw a card. I refresh. It is your turn.
Okay. This plague's looking pretty plump. Is it just time to?
Yeah, lock it in.
I draw a card. Delete all cards in one other line with 8 or more cards, but
It doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
it'll fizzle.
Yeah.
Threes.
It's one other line
fours,
anyway, and there's no such cards. There's no such lines, but that's fine. You just follow the
yeah,
instructions.
yeah. But that's 8 or more, having 8 cards in a row.
Yeah, the whole line, but that's
oh,
both
the whole
sides.
line.
The whole line.
Yeah, so, okay.
Remember, the line is
That
the
makes
entire
sense.
thing. That
Stack is your side. Okay.
There you go. You got it.
Yep, very fun.
And 8 cards in a line. You're only 2 cards away from that in the plague meta line. We've definitely in our game we had some lines
Yeah.
with overfull.
sweeps.
It is your turn. And just a face
Just a face down card. No
Don't
big
worry about it.
deal.
It's no big deal.
Darkness playing a face down card. That doesn't seem like a
It's
problem.
extremely scary for someone, but not me.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's probably fine.
I don't want to play this now, but I want to play it now because I need.
What does it do?
Draw 2 cards, but it limits your opponent from compiling next turn. But we're
He's
not.
not compiling next turn anyway. But if you're playing for the draw, that's entirely legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah,
cool.
It's useful
And
to have
cover it and uncover it.
Right.
Yes.
It's now that it's in play. There's other ways to re-trigger it,
Right.
especially with hate being able to delete things, including your own things. And with love, you have access to all of his arsenal as well.
My turn.
Yes.
I'm going to play the top card of my deck face down in each other line where I have a card, but that's just going to go there.
And that's
This
it.
is, but only when this would be covered.
Yeah, 'cause there's no
it's your
draw.
turn. Yep.
That's that resource, that scaling resource of the remainder of the deck.
Right, where you're down to the point.
original.
It's like you need to be careful.
In our further development, we created edge cases for ourselves. We're like, this thing that did not matter,
Yeah,
we
it
now
does.
must have a ruling on.
Which
is great.
For love.
Gonna reveal another love.
And you're going to flip a card. And that card.
Is now more valuable.
But I could also flip that back
Yeah,
and have
absolutely.
Yes, exactly. That whole
that whole
Yeah,
tra-
yeah.
chain trigger again.
Anytime that text is revealed, it's played.
Man,
I know.
it's rough. It's rough out there.
Rough out there.
All right, well, I have to get you into a fight here. I will be compiling next turn.
Provided the game state doesn't change.
Yeah.
I mean, and it will, but I want
Yeah.
that fight to be our
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
Because I had a 1 card advantage.
So it's back to Eric.
It sure is.
Irk.
I also would really like to get the control token.
Well, that little guy?
Good luck.
The little guy?
Little guy over there?
I wouldn't let me have
We're
it.
going to play such a different game tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The exact opposite kind of
Same
game.
team.
Same team, same team.
Interesting.
All right, so,
Okay. It's the start of my turn.
yeah,
I gain control because I'm beating you here and here.
that's correct.
I compile this line.
Do you want to do any, well, before you compile that
Yeah.
line, you spend control.
Yeah, you want to swap?
I do.
Regardless of whether you change a thing, you still,
I do that for you.
Yeah.
And
As a gift for you.
that is,
and I
big
score
swap.
that.
Yep.
But it is your turn.
I have to refresh.
And then there's 2 darkness.
I cannot stress how much I also would like to refresh.
all right, so you refresh, and then,
I don't know if I'm missing the card I'm hoping I am going to draw right now. Because
What a
love.
risk.
Because love. Well,
Yeah.
I needed ammo.
But a big love or metal card will give Eric control. He can swap his stuff back, get it fast compile. Yeah,
and
see, that's
you're
it.
gonna draw 2 more.
I draw 2 more cards.
you'll get the card you
Maybe
wanted.
I'm gonna get the card I want.
Did you get it?
We're not gonna talk about it.
Cool.
Okay. Now,
Oh, okay.
so what's the riposte?
It is you.
My friend.
Those were
That ain't it.
days.
As always, play aggro. But in which way?
Playground.
It's probably this one. You've seen it before. Flip each other face-up card. Your 6, your 5.
That's a great timing on that play. Yeah.
You don't get control,
not
but,
getting control.
but boy,
And Matt is poised to take control, Eric, unless you change the board state on
Metal.
two of those lines.
Metal or love.
Yeah.
He's already beating me in hate nicely.
A chunky boy in either love or metal will do it.
I mean, actually, all he has to do is tie.
Yeah.
He can just play anything.
Yeah.
You draw a card.
I draw a
Card
card.
refresh.
Oh, nice.
Wonderful. I do not.
How many cards do you have in hand there, Matt?
I
You need to
had.
clear cache at
Oh, you're
the
right.
end
I
of your
did.
turn.
I did. I did.
You clear
I
that
did.
cache.
I did.
So much
That one was
cheating.
very gone.
Rampage.
You're right. Just trying to go fast.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right. So what do you got?
What do I got?
Eric, is that your discard pile there? It's got some face down cards in it? I'm just making sure.
2, 3.
Cool. Just checking in.
You. I'm guessing that you have my darkness one. Or my darkness 4, is it? I forget.
No, 'cause I only have the plague one.
Only the one, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe who could say?
Who knows?
Who's among us? I don't like this hand. I'm looking for a card. I'm going to discard one or more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll keep this one.
Yeah.
You discard 5 cards.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. What? It's how many he discards plus one.
Plus one.
What would you like to do with your turn?
Well,
Neither one of us gain control.
Okay.
okay.
Draw one card. You may flip one face down card.
You gonna do it?
Depends on what this is.
You could
no,
flip
I
that-
don't.
You could flip that hate 2 over there.
I could flip that hate too.
Or that 2 that's in the hate line. It's not technically hate 2.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. I'm gonna leave it.
All right, Eric.
It has to be face down. It would be that love card, and I don't want to.
Right. It's the 2 that's in the hate line, because you can't do the one in the love line. You can only do the one that's in the hate line.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Eric, the
line.
good news is that he only has 1 card in hand, so you have a very strong resource advantage right now.
Right.
Do you think I'm going to gamble really hard on this one card that I finally drew? Boy, am I.
All right. Matt, it is your turn. You do not gain control.
I do not gain control, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I do play. All face down cards in this stack have a value of 4. So
right.
it's a 4 and a 2. I'm at 10.
And the middle text says,
I may flip one covered card in this line.
do you want to flip a covered card in this line?
I do not.
Okay. So he does have 10 points in his middle line. He does not have control.
I think your love 6 is over there.
And you do not gain control either, Eric. You're tied in your first line.
That's gruesome.
I'm in a really fragile position, though.
Wait, it's in every line. They're face down or fours.
No, just in that
No,
line.
it literally only in this,
okay. And it's
this
just that
portion
stack.
of this stack.
Sure.
Okay.
Evil.
So
If you can
this is a
delete or
line,
flip that
this
2,
is a stack.
that would
Yep.
decimate it. But
But I'm gambling that you don't have that. Hate would ruin me right now. But there's a
Yeah,
lot of hate
but-
in that trash.
Right, and it still doesn't matter because you're at 10.
He is a 10.
At 10. A hate card would have like deletes.
But
or-
anything, if you can shift that card, if you can flip that card, if you can delete that card, if you can return that card, anything will disrupt that 10. It's a very fragile 10.
Nope, can't do a thing.
Then that means,
Yeah.
you can, since you can't do a thing, fine. Whatever you do, he can't stop. There we go. That's great. So, it is your turn. You do not
gain
have
control.
control, so you do compile the
that's-
darkness line.
And that's game.
and that's the game.
That's game.
That's game.
That is game.
So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
that's how
you
that's
were
how
there.
long
Yeah,
the game. Like,
Right?
if you're playing with your
Yeah, yeah.
friend, and it's
Yeah.
not me and Chris who've known each other for 15 years or something,
And still aren't friends.
and still exactly.
Obviously.
But that's the different thing. Well,
Yeah.
gents, thank you for obviously giving us this slugfest
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be playing this a lot during the show for sure. I finally have my copy. Very handsome. Here, Josh, can we look in the box? Oh, ooh, so handsome. Nice box. Oh, so shiny.
It is foil
It's got
on
all
it.
of the UV, so
Oh no, it's got the flash. But obviously, Matt, Chris, Paul, thanks for rolling through. Now, and we're all done. There's no more sponsor streams this week, or is there?
do you want to play more games tomorrow?
Yes.
We can play some games tomorrow.
Here, why don't we play a cooperative?
I think we can whip one up between now
like
and then.
pseudo wargamey.
Okay. Like a fantasy adventure game?
asymmetry.
Sure, yeah.
Something like that. Like we're all gonna try to defend the realm or something like that.
We could all sit at the same table.
So Paul and Matt and I have from tonight until tomorrow around noonish to design and create a game and bring it back to you.
3D
So we'll see what we can
print
do for
and
you.
Do you have a resin printer? Can you make all the minis?
Yeah, should be fine.
Oh, here, let's just tentative title, Defenders of the Realm.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, same time.
Yeah.
3 p.m. PT. Come catch a full round of it.
And all of us will play.
No, it's going to be super, super good. Well, hey, until next time, we'll see you.